everyday wear and tear, the experience you need, and the results you want, that's Henderson Chiropractic. With 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, game is tied 0-0.
Josh Gross is going to line up, split out wide to the left. Caden Samala to the right. 2 men in the backfield. They give it to the second. No, Hughes keeps the ball, looks to roll to his left. Now reverses field across the 10, 15, 20, where he's going to be running out of bounds, but he picks up a first down. So a nice job there by Hughes to recognize there was nothing open downfield. Reverses direction and a nice run to start the game for the Jumpers.
That's an asset that Chris Hughes has. He can actually beat you with his feet. His brother Cam might be a little bit faster, but Cam's not that far behind him and has great field vision for a freshman.
Yeah, he did a really good job as he took off to his left, looking downfield. Looked like he was maybe trying to find Josh Gross. Couldn't. Again, Gross is going to split out wide to this near side. Palmer's going to be out there as well. And we got 2 men in motion.
Yeah.
That will not work.
Nope. Not the way you wanted to start that play. I don't think
nope.
A lot of confusion. Don't know who was supposed to be in motion and who wasn't.
So just in case, let's see, in 84, we know that is Guy Bailey. Keep that in mind. And 85 is going to be Tony or Antonio Palmer. Had a couple of
changes
tonight. You're exactly right. And so far, I've got a pin that doesn't want to work. Forgot to make my Guy Bailey change. Everything else, I'm in good shape. Appreciate Robert Reed. He's Johnny on the. He's got an inside track to some of that information. 5-yard penalty.
Have a kid play this on the team.
It does. I appreciate it very much. 2 men in the backfield. Palmer lined up in a wing. Stack eye. They hand it to the second man through. Hit and dropped in the backfield.
Looks like
on the carry for Somerset. That was
number 54.
Yeah,
correct.
21.
Yeah, Lee Felix had a decent head of steam, but that's how you stop a running play. It's just make body contact. It's not all about trying to get something in the arms. You got to make body contact. I'm going to have a hard
time all night getting used to seeing Guy Bailey wear
84 instead of 7. Me too.
Public address announcer agrees with me. Jonathan Absher always does a good job around here. 2 backs in the backfield. Give it to the second man through, looking for room off the left side. Finds a hole, gets out across the 25, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 5, which will be much more manageable. Nice 10-yard run by Bailey.
It's a good 10-yard run. It's his first carry of the game, but it was a good heads-up carry by the young man.
Showed that quickness that he's got, explodes out of that tailback position.
12-yard gain on the play, 3rd down and 3.
It was actually 2nd down and 17, so picks up 12.
Do some math, Robert.
Again, over on the left side and gets to the 25 line of scrimmage, and that is going to be all for Bailey on that play. So
Bailey on the carry.
No gain on that one. That's it shows you that the Hazard defense they run downhill exactly how they're supposed to. This defense pretty impressive so far.
I said earlier, think inter-squad scrimmage because those navy blue pants and the purple pants, they resemble each other quite a bit from up here, but it's the gold headgear. Punt by Bailey is away, is going to bounce at the 45 of Hazard and take a bounce all the way inside the 30. And I believe it'll be the 29, 20, yep, right there. We'll call it the 29-yard line where they're going to mark the football. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 7:54 to go in this first quarter.
A big thank you to Don Franklin Somerset Family of Dealerships, Kentucky, for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. Be sure to take advantage of the end-of-summer savings at any other Somerset locations. Visit them at any other 4 Somerset locations or on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships, where they treat you like family.
Hopefully you're celebrating some class reunions. We welcome you back here to the Briar Patch.
All right, Bulldogs break the huddle. 1 man in the backfield alongside Pelfrey. They're going to give it to him straight up the middle, finds a hole, breaks to the left, and gets out near the 40-yard line.
Shoestring tackle out there by Ryland Carter, so apparently he didn't stay long, but it looked like it was enough to give Hazard a first down.
Well, Johnson is a senior, and he plays like it. Pelfrey's a sophomore who doesn't play like a sophomore, but more like a senior. And that was a nice 11-yard run for Johnson to move the chains for another Bulldog first down. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Again, a sidecar to Max Pelfrey's left. That's Johnson. They're going to fake the ball. Pelfrey keeps it, tries to go left, has to come back inside. He's going to be dropped after a very short gain, if any.
Looking to see who comes up from the actual tackle spot.
And we got a late flag. And that was Rylan Carter on the bottom of the pile for the Jumpers. Let's see what the marker's all about. We talked about this. Personal foul. Face mask, and that's going to be on Somerset.
So, it looked like they had him stopped before the face mask call, so they must have got hands right to the face as the offensive player was falling to the ground.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Robert. That flag did come in a little late. Not that it was wrong, just saying it wasn't a post-play foul, but might as well have been, I think, according to the way you described it. Trips to the right, 1 man to the left. Johnson in the back to Pelfrey's left. Takes the snap. Johnson trying to go around the right end, has some room, 40, 35, down to the 31-yard line, and that's going to be another Bulldog first down.
Somerset defense is running side to side and not downhill very much. I don't know if they're just getting caught in the motion of the play or if they're getting pushed off the line of scrimmage that much, but everything's moving side to side, not downhill, which is something that they could learn from watching this Hazard defense.
Yeah, and when you look at the Hazard offensive line, they've only got, I think, 1 senior up there, but right now, fundamentally, they look really good, and they also look like they're pretty big. We don't have heights and weights, but those 2 tackles out there make a nice set of bookends, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Trips to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson to the right of his quarterback, Pelfrey. Pelfrey who drops back, looking on the inside slant. Caught at the 17-yard line, makes a man miss at the 5, into the end zone. Bulldog touchdown.
And that was somebody on the defensive play. We caught this same kind of result last week against Williamsburg, where somebody was trying to make a play on the ball and not a play on the person. Ends up getting burnt and costing for 6 points.
Landon Smith on the touchdown reception from Max Pelfrey. Now the PAT to come. Johnson the holder. Extra point. Hazard pretty good at extra points on the season. That kick is up. Looked like it may have hooked left a little, but it got through. It's good. 7-0 Bulldogs.
Join us after the game on Facebook for our Alton Blakely postgame show. Now is a great time for you to order our new Ford from Alton Blakely. Right now, when you order your new Ford, you can lock in low APRs for up to 84 months. Get the new Ford you've always wanted and no worries about fluctuating interest rates. Your rate is locked when you order. Alton Blakely Ford for details on South Highway 27, online at altonblakely.com. With 6 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Hazard is leading 7-0 on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
Joseph Ambergy was the kicker for Hazard, who was able to boot that through to give the Bulldogs this 7-0 advantage. 6:08 to go in the first quarter. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be a long night for the Jumpers if they don't find a way to stop number 20.
Oh, I know.
Talking about Max Johnson.
He's going to end up having 100 yards by the end of the first quarter. Runs hard.
Kickoff set to come. It's going to be a squibber fielded at the 40-yard line by the Jumpers and finds a man to miss, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, it's McChrystal. Yes, sir, and he gets the ball. Picks it up and gets it inside the 45 of Hazard. We'll call it the 44 officially, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Jumpers. 6:03 is what we have remaining in this first quarter of play. Appreciate you.
Great field position for Somerset to start this drive. You just got to make something happen here and get the score tied up.
Double wing over on this left side. Handoff to Bailey, who is going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. And then a late flag comes in on the tackle for Hazard. That was Gage Logan.
I think they're going to get number 73 for a late hit, but I'm not sure because it looks like Somerset's the one backing up. But, yeah, that's what I thought. So Guy Bailey was already down, and 73 come rushing into the play and made contact while he was down. So it's almost like an unnecessary, or what they call it, a unnecessary roughness type personal foul. But it's 15 yards.
It is 15 yards from the spot. It's going to move the ball down to the 31-yard line of Hazard. And we're not quite to the Rick Barker red zone, but this is a spot on the field where Somerset needs to take advantage of this position.
Yes, they do.
Bailey in the backfield. Sprints out to provide protection for his quarterback, Chris Hughes, who fired a nice-looking pass. His intended receiver appeared to be Chase Keith,
who was downfield but never turned to catch the ball.
Yeah, and Keith is a converted lineman who is now wearing 39 and kind of plays that H-back role. He's a fullback / tight end. He'll line up, as we said there, as like a wingman. And a break there that ball ended up incomplete. That could have been picked off rather easily.
Looked like the only person that had a beat on it was a Hazard defender.
Two backs in the backfield. That's Hughes and Bailey. A little cross buck action. Give it to Cam Hughes. Second man through. Crossing over to the left side. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards. It'll be third down, and we'll call it 6.
Third down, and looks like maybe a long 6 too.
Oh, so you're doubting me. I've got the glasses.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
right on it.
You got the binoculars. I'll just leave you alone.
That's
you're
okay.
right. No, you're right. No, you're the pro. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
We're just going to argue like an old married couple.
So, third down and 6.5.
All right, fair.
See, that's me. I'm Mr. Compromise.
I won an argument.
All right. Splitting out top wide to the right, that's Josh Gross, and we got a timeout as Somerset doesn't like what they see. They're going to take a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout.
The name to know when you and your friends or your family are buying or selling real estate is Ron Shaw with Weichert Ford Brothers. Ron has a long-standing history of community service and is a proud supporter of youth sports in the Lake Cumberland area. Ron truly cares for others and works hard for all his clients no matter the size or value of the property they are selling. You can contact Ron Shaw at 606-271-0774 or email him at ronshaw45@gmail.com. That's Ron Shaw at Weichert Realtors Ford Brothers. We are now 5 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter. On the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, score is Hazard 7, Somerset 0.
Just a gorgeous night here. Well, I'm going to take a minute and just snap a picture of this while we're sitting up here above Clark Field.
Awful pretty sunset back there.
It is. I'll post this one later. That is, I'm telling you. I'm
nice.
not a photographer. Did you see that?
Yeah, I just caught that.
Yeah.
Look at you.
These cameras of today, it's amazing. I knew I'd always have a camera in my pocket. Two backs in the backfield. That is Hughes and Bailey. Chris Hughes gets the snap, rolls to his right, has a man, it's caught, and it's going to be a jumper first down. Is that Palmer?
That's Palmer. It was a good catch. He fired it right in his pocket, was able to reach down there and grab it with both hands, turn upfield for another little bit of a gain, but it'll bring up 1st and 10.
Good to see him. That should give Palmer the confidence. We've talked about how all season how he could be a potential weapon for the jumpers, and he was used right there. So under 5 minutes to go as the referee attempts to wind the clock. There we go. Chains get set, and now we've got one too many men in the backfield, and be surprised if they don't get a flag here for breaking the huddle with one too many. We'll see. Now they let it go. Handoff, second man through and going to be tackled, fumble, ball's on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by number 20, Max Johnson. Hazard ball on their own 15, and that is exactly what was discussed in the pregame and in my conversation with Coach Swearingen. Got to avoid the turnovers.
Got to avoid the turnovers, and you're deep in your own territory. You were in scoring position, whether it was a field goal or 6. So now you're putting your defense back on the field where they've You know, you just don't want to get your defense out on the field for most of the game. You got to sustain these long drives and give the defense a break.
So Jumpers waste an opportunity inside the Rick Barker red zone. 2 receivers to the right, also a wing on the right side, a quick toss out, and Johnson's going to air it out down the field, and coming up to make a nice defensive play for Somerset is Josh Gross. That ball was underthrown, and Javon White for Hazard had to stop and just wait on it.
Yeah. It had plenty of air on it, just not a lot of zip, right?
Yeah.
But
Gross, you could see on the play, had to catch up and then almost overran it because the ball was so short. But
so just make a jumping swat motion just to be able to knock it out. I was wondering if he didn't over pursue, but
yeah, I thought so for a second myself. Pro set with the wing to the right. Handoff in the backfield, off to the left side, and finding big-time space out to the 40, almost the 45, and on that carry was Johnson.
Giglio out there just making the stop. But they're getting great push right up front.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll hear coaches talk about fit, and right now Somerset's not getting that defensive fit against this offense of Hazard. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, 4:21 to go. Ball on the 47-yard line of Hazard. Again, want to say thank you to everybody joining us for Toyota of Somerset's high school football presented by Ford Brothers Auctioneers and Realtors. Fumbled the snap and going to be hit and dropped immediately in the backfield on the stop. Jack Bruner was right there for Somerset.
Yeah, here comes a late flag. There's a lot of mouthing going on down there, and it's just going to be another penalty. I just don't know if they're going to – I guess they're going to call it on Somerset because there was a lot of jawing going on.
And the White Hat's walking towards the official on this side so he can inform the coach as to what's going on. Look, did the flag come from the White Hat or did it come from the umpire? I'm not sure which, but Somerset's backing up.
Yeah. And you had them stop.
2 big penalties. You did.
Yeah.
Stop for a loss. Going to put him behind the chains. That's the 2nd personal foul. They're going to call him offsetting.
Oh.
All right. Well, Somerset felt like they were guilty. Now, that's post-possession or post the play, so that should mean it's 2nd down, right?
Looks like they're flipping the sign.
That's a big-time break for the Jumpers.
Coach,
and we don't know what was said, but here's what I do like. I'm not a big fan of the offsetting in this situation, but I think that official says we're not going to have any nonsense out here tonight, taking charge early in this one.
That's something that, you
so
know.
It's a dead ball, and that means it does go to 2nd down. The play stands.
So a loss on the play. Somerset probably a little fortunate to get the play call going both ways, or the penalty going both ways.
Yeah, and now you got Hazard behind the chains in this series. Logan Thomas, the wing on the right side. That is Johnson in the backfield. They give it to him. He tries to run right behind.
Good edge rush by somebody over there. I'm trying to get a number. I was wanting to say maybe Kylon Williams, first one on the edge, but it looked like Cam Hughes was also on the outside edge, and that's kind of what you're going to have to do. If they're getting that push up front, you're just going to have to bring pressure from the outside.
So 3rd down and 13 for the Bulldogs. Jumpers, an opportunity maybe here to force Hazard into a punting situation. Landon Smith is split out wide to the right, out at the top of the field. Pelfrey drops back, a little screen pass. They set it up well and quickly, and it's going to be close. Depends on the spot, and they're going to give him enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, they set that play up well. They had plenty of pressure right up front. There's a little bubble screen right over top, and you already had most of the defenders in the backfield, so they had to turn around and chase just to be able to get caught up.
Yeah, and who were they chasing? Max Johnson.
Yeah, been chasing him all game.
So first down puts the ball at the 43-yard line of Somerset. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in this first quarter of play. Clock is running. Clock stops momentarily to get the down marker set. 4 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson in the backfield. Belfry in trouble, drops the ball, and Somerset has recovered it.
Yeah.
Jack Bruner was there to put pressure on. Coming up with the ball for the Jumpers is Chase Keith.
I think Kylon Williams was the first man in there to put a hand on the ball and knock it out of the hands of the Hazard offensive player, giving him some props on the sidelines. But it's a turnover going the opposite direction and does not give Hazard a chance to score 7 more points and put the Somerset offense and defense with their backs against the wall.
So 2:27 to go. Jumpers get the ball on the fumble in Hazard territory. It's the 48-yard line on this near hash towards us. They move away from Highway 80. Two in the backfield. Fake the handoff to Bailey. He going downfield. Reached up. Did he make the catch?
He did.
Caden Samala with a beautiful catch and a pinpoint pass from Chris Hughes.
That was gorgeous. He just threaded the needle and was right there to find it.
29 yards on the pitch and catch. We felt like maybe Chris Hughes found him a new favorite receiver.
He sure did, but he put that one right on the money, right?
Samala had 3 catches last week, including a touchdown.
That was pretty. That's a freshman out there making a big-time play.
Gross and Palmer to the right. Toss to Guy Bailey, looking for help, and that time the Bulldogs just string it out down the line of scrimmage.
Stop for about a 2-yard loss, too.
So, yeah.
They're just not turning that Hazard defensive line inward to be able to give Guy Bailey any kind of a break to get anything.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are really good at going sideline to sideline.
Yes, they are.
And that's due to just great technique, good pursuit. It all starts with having a little speed on that defensive side of the ball. 2 backs in the backfield. That's Hughes and Guy Bailey. Now Samala switches up, comes over here to this left side. And Hughes, he could have kept running.
Yeah.
Could have kept running and straightened out, but instead he stops, and that's going to be a false start against the Jumpers. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's going to make it 2nd down, and we'll call it
about 17 yards. That's 3 penalties so far in the first quarter for Somerset, 20 yards approaching.
Yeah, if you're in the – now, if he was the intended ball carrier that play, then, But at that's one of those things you can stop and reset. But you can't stop and tell everybody that you weren't supposed to do that. 3 receivers left, man in motion. It's the jet sweep coming towards us, looking for some space, not finding any. Is Cam Hughes going to be tackled? He'll get back to about the 21-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and 12 for the Jumpers, and we got a collision down here. And bad news if you're a Hazard fan. The man slow to get up is Max Johnson.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was just both players kind of trying to go lower than the other and getting some helmet-to-helmet action.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Susan Hansford believes that just like in a ball game, everyone needs a coach in a different events in life. Having a great realtor when purchasing a home or property makes all the difference in the outcome of the transaction. Susan Hansford will guide you through the transaction so you can appreciate the journey through the real estate process. Call Susan Hansford today at 606-219-3276 to begin your journey. We want to remind everybody to stay tuned to the Hanford halftime report. We also want to make sure that everybody stays tuned to the end of tonight's coverage. We will be awarding the Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, the United Cumberland Defensive Player of the Game, and the Sassy Spoon Lineman of the game.
So Hughes comes off for Somerset. He's over here being checked out. And Johnson for Hazard, he's going to get checked out on the Bulldogs sideline. 3rd down and 12. One man in the backfield, that's Felix Hughes. A little swing pass out to Bailey, who is hit and dropped immediately. Going to lose a couple.
Yeah.
Nicely played there defensively.
Just sniffed
for
out
the
screen
Bulldogs.
pass, right?
So it's going to be 4th down. Maybe out of field goal range. I believe we'd be looking at about a 43-yard field goal. So jumpers are going to send the offensive unit back out there.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it's not going to do them a whole lot of good to punt here in this situation.
And kind of surprised to see Max Johnson out there already, but as you heard the whistle, that's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Bulldogs lead it here from Clark Field.
Delicious food with Southern flair, made fresh local favorites. We love all catering, big crowds, small crowds, wedding reception, business events, picnics. Let us make your event one that we remember for years at Sassy Spoon Catering.
Hey kids, it's Moolah Moose Club time. At Citizens National Bank, we pay for excellent grades. Citizens National Bank will put $1 into your Moolah Moose account up to $10 per grading period. Ask your parent or guardian to bring you to any Citizens National Bank location to open your Moolah Moose savings account and let us reward you for your hard work. Join the Moolah Moose Savings Club only at Citizens National Bank. Moving forward together, member FDIC.
Good evening. This is Barry Turner. On behalf of our agents and as owners of Turner Realty Group, Tawana and I are excited to announce that we have become RE/MAX Lake Time Realty. Like we've always said, who you work with matters and who you partner with to grow your agency matters. When the opportunity came to partner as a RE/MAX franchisee in the Lake Cumberland area, we realized their core values align with what made Turner Realty Group so successful. RE/MAX Lake Time Realty, 44 Office Park Drive between lots 21 and 22. Each office independently owned and operated.
We swapped ends of the field. Prior jumpers going to go for it on 4th down and about 16, if you will. 4 receivers to the left. Now we got whistles as we got to the line of scrimmage, and now we got a timeout called by the Bulldogs.
Since 1979, Modern Systems has been protecting communities all across Kentucky, and they are proud to be part of the communities they serve, committing time to sponsorships to numerous charities like Project 5810, Relay for Life, March of Dimes, Heart Walk, local school programs, and many more. Modern Systems, your neighbors and your friends, and they'll work 24/7 to protect the things that matter most to you. From homes to businesses to schools and churches, let Modern Systems be your trusted name in security.
Robert, I'm going to go old school here.
Okay.
All these nice turf fields, you know, you almost got the perfect surface. I think it's about time somebody starts practicing the old-fashioned drop kick once again.
Really?
I'm just
I mean,
asking.
why not, right?
I mean, I've said dumber things. I'm not sure when, but, you know, if you think back to the original longest yard, what was that? That's a drop kick.
Yep.
What's that worth? 3 points. Just say it. 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. That's Samala.
All 6 watchers that get that, congratulations.
Yeah, it's old school. Chris Hughes scans the defense, takes the snap, looking left, looking, now gets flushed out of the pocket. He's got all kinds of room to run. I'm not sure he can get to the first down marker. He's not gonna, but he had a lot of green turf, but a good job in pursuit by the Bulldogs. Takes the ball down to the 15, and it'll be turned over on downs. Give the ball back to Hazard.
Turnover on downs, that one really doesn't hurt you, but that does become the second turnover of the game.
Yeah.
That was something that we talked about, that they got a limit. Now that one
doesn't count
doesn't really
officially
count
as a turnover, but it's almost the equivalent of. But so Somerset not able to take advantage of the Bulldog turnover. They did get it down inside that Rick Barker red zone, but 3 receivers to the left. Johnson's back in the ball game. He takes the snap straight up the middle and going to be tackled just shy of the 20-yard line. Gain of 3.
Number 53, Preston Reed, right there on the tackle, was just able to peel off of the offensive lineman and reach out and make the stop.
And about 3 yards on the play.
So 2nd down and 7.
2nd down and 7. Ball on
Hazard does not do a lot of substituting. They don't have a lot of players over there on that far side.
No, they really don't. That's
a limited bench.
That's the quote-unquote curse of 1A football.
Yep. 4-man front, but the jumpers bring an extra, airing it out downfield. Caught, but I believe out of bounds.
I believe so, too. And that was good heads-up play because even if he'd caught the ball, I think he was on his way out of bounds. Just a little bit of a push right at the end to get him out of bounds and to bring up a third down play. What I do like seeing is that the Somerset defense is actually staying step in step with the people that they're actually trying to defend instead of being lost out of there.
Producer Pat is all over it.
Oh.
The last successful drop kick was an extra point in 1941 by the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
Now, I'll tell you what, his middle name should be Google. Drop back. Over to the left side, caught at the 20. They get him hemmed in and finally dropped short of the first down to Johnson. He's going to be about 3, maybe 4 yards shy. So that's going to make it 4th down.
I can't imagine that they'll gamble this deep into their own territory. But I do like the fact that Somerset did come out and play some defense on that drive.
Indeed they did, and here comes the punt unit for the Bulldogs. Back deep to punt.
4th down and 2.
As soon as he gets done with this batch of popcorn, Max Johnson will kick the ball away for the Bulldogs.
Good time for Guy Bailey to return one.
Would be. He's going to set up about the 43-yard line on his end of the field. Somerset not really sold that this is a true punt. A little bit of a rugby style, nice high kick. And going to bounce at the 50 and take a jumper bounce back in towards Hazard territory, and the Jumpers are going to have the ball in great field position at the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Keeping stats and correct score is important to players, coaches, and fans. The same can be said for keeping your taxes and finances in order. For over 26 years, Randall D. Turpin CPA has been doing just that. If accounting is not your thing, then let the pros at Randall D. Turpin CPA do it for you. Proud sponsor of the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, located on Parkers Mill Road in Somerset. With 10 minutes and 6 seconds left to go on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, Hazard still leads 7-0.
Chris Hughes will break the huddle. 2 men in the backfield. He's got Palmer lined up onto the wing on the right side. Snap. Fakes the ball to the second man through, reverses out, wanting to go long, ran out of time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Hughes takes off to the 40, lowers the shoulder, and picks up the first down at the 35-yard line of Hazard.
I like the toughness. He had to run a long ways to get 10 yards, but he got that last yard by earning it.
You know, right now, if you're the coaching staff for Somerset, though, you got to say, Chris, admire the bravery and the courage, but you're the number 2 quarterback. You're number 1 now because number 1's over here still injured.
That's probably the.
Don't be afraid to slide, especially after you get that first down. But you do got to. And you know who really appreciates that?
Who's that?
Those big guys up front.
Yes, they do.
That just makes them want to work that much harder. They love a guy that's going to stick his nose in there and get dirty right alongside the lineman. Wide receiver split each way, offsides, and then we get a jump in the backfield. So who drew who off?
Can't tell. I don't know which one they're going to call. Looks like they're going to back Somerset.
Call Hazard. Yeah, I like the call because I felt like the jump from the backfield, and that was Carter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ryland Carter did jump, but I think maybe there was some incidental contact up front.
Well, that's the thing. There was a man lined up over the nose, and when you make that contact, and then Carter jumped as well. So bit of a break for the Jumpers, if you will.
No, I was just sitting here thinking it's been a while since I've seen Chase Keith line up in that fullback lead blocker position. And here
he is, and fake the handoff, trying to go long into the end zone, into double coverage. That was Samala, the intended receiver. But that was a beautiful play fake by Hughes, wasn't it?
I bought it.
I bought it as well, and nice job on second down. You still got first down. Now you got 2nd and 5. I love the play call.
Pretty aggressive play call, and that's what you want to see out of this football team. Take some chances.
Lee Felix stepping in. We saw Felix a couple of times kind of ignite this offense. Jumpers fans would like to see something along that lines here. Bailey's going to line up to the right, Felix to the left of their quarterback. Hughes, make sure he gets in the right spot. Handoff to Felix on the counter, and he's looking for room, and that is another solid collision in the backfield. Going to lose a yard or two. Phew.
Yeah.
Going to lose about 3 maybe. So 3rd down and long now for the Jumpers. And Tell you what, the physicality factor in this ball game has been up there.
A little bit of a score update here. Into first, PC leads. I think they're playing South Laurel tonight, correct?
Yes.
35-0 at the end of the first.
So they'll be in a running clock and be home before we get to halftime. Rolling left. Nice little swing pass out on the edge. Caught and enough for a first down. Another solid collision. But on the catch is Josh Gross. And he just did a little stop right out there. Got the ball and circled around. Had enough yardage to get the first down. A huge first down for the Jumpers.
Keeps the drive
That
alive.
is a Remax Lake Time Realty first down. 8:05 to go in this first half of play. Jumpers knocking on the door of the Rick Barker red zone.
Gross took a pretty nice shot and just ran right back out there like nothing happened. I hurt from up here.
Keith, the fullback, they give it to him. He looks for room on the left side, breaks a couple of tackles, and picks up a couple of yards, most of that on his own.
Gave him about 4 yards on that carry.
Yes, sir.
That's just all determination right there.
6 foot, 235-pound converted lineman.
3 yards on the play. Second down.
So I guess call it gain of 3 because where they spotted the ball, but still,
Yep.
he was stopped in the backfield and they just made a power move to get 2 more yards. Stoppage in play down here, and I can't figure out for what. See anything down there?
I don't. The referee just needed to get where he needed to be, I guess. I'm not sure. So second down, again, 2 backs in the backfield. Keith, the fullback, lined up behind them is Guy Bailey, 1 wide receiver each way. Palmer lined up as a wing. They give it to Bailey off the right side. Bounces, and he does get inside the 20 to advance the ball into the Rick Barker red zone for the Jumpers, and it'll be third down and call it a long 3.
Guy Bailey having to earn every yard that he's putting out there on the field. That's his 5th carry for a total of about 15 yards.
I don't have official heights and weights on this Hazard Bulldog team, but I'm going to get it because that might be the world's shortest nose tackle I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not disparaging short people whatsoever, but
I've seen guys line up at that size and just bulldoze people.
fake the end around. Hughes tries to keep it, go up the middle, fakes the jet sweep, and he is going to be dropped and stopped. And
Don't think there was anything left there on that one.
the aforementioned nose tackle Fultz on the stop.
See?
4th down and 4.
Fultz. No, we don't have it there either. I thought Jonathan had me fixed up, but he doesn't have anything more than I have. Defensive lineman. DL. Oh, my. It's getting, well. 2 backs in the backfield. Wide receiver split each way. Palmer lined up as the tight end off the wing. Hughes stumbles a little bit, looking, has a man back in the end zone and defended well there by Hazard's Javon White.
Would have been
He was looking for Josh Gross. So 4th down's going to turn the ball over again on downs, but it's again back in the Bulldog end of the field.
another score to give you all. At the end of the first quarter at North Laurel, Southwestern leads 7-0.
Tell you what, Warriors are having a pretty good year, as are the Pulaski County Maroons.
Are they not?
And I think Somerset has surprised a couple of folks at 4-2. 7-0 here is your score on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. 5:22 to go in the half. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap, and did the play clock run out? I believe it did.
Did it?
Now
Yeah,
we got a
they're
timeout call. Nope.
Nope.
It's going to back the Bulldogs up 5 yards. So, again, it seems like when Somerset can force Hazard into this, working behind the chains, that they've had a lot more success, and it shortens the playbook for the Bulldogs.
Legal procedure against the Bulldogs, 5-yard penalty.
Just right now is not the time to give up one of those giant runs.
You're exactly right.
But they've been giving up. I mean, they've been getting gashed right up front. But
and that guy, his name is Max Johnson. He's going to get the handoff
just like
up the middle, spin move across the 20, falls down. They're going to give him all the way out to the 23.
Yep, right up the middle. And there was somebody that was actually on the linebacker position that was lined up right over the middle and shifted right before the play started. And I don't know who he ended up trying to follow, but it put him way out of position to make the play. Again, got to run downhill.
Pick up 10 yards. So 2nd down and 5 now. Two receivers left, one to the right for the Bulldogs. They're going to put a wing in the backfield on this left side. Johnson. He's going to split out to the right side. A little flare pass over here on the left at the 30-yard line. It's going to be enough for the first down, but fumble, trying to pick up an extra yard or two, and the Jumpers knock the ball loose, create the turnover, and they lead in that category 2-1 now after that fumble, and we got an injured.
Got an injured player down there on the field.
Yeah, and it looks like Landon Smith.
Get you all a name here in just a moment.
It is number 13, the tight end.
I want to say a big thank you to Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships Kentucky for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. They are also the official picture photography sponsor for Lake Cumberland Sports here at Somerset. Be sure to take advantage of the end of summer savings at any of their Somerset locations. Visit them at their 4 Somerset locations or on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships, where they treat you like family.
Smith getting some assistance to get off the field, hobbling. Now they're going to carry him, pretty much try and lift him across the to the far. He's got a long way to go. Came into the night having a pretty good year, 16 catches, 228 yards, but that time after the catch gives up the football. It's going to be Jumpers' ball on the 23-yard line, 1st and 10, 4:31 to go.
Somerset needs a real momentum boost
They
right
really
here by
do.
just putting some points on the board.
They've put the pressure on the Bulldogs. They just haven't been able to capitalize.
Big plays on defense is what's just cost them. I mean, it cost them a few points in the Williamsburg game, and it's cost them the only score in this one as well.
Stack eye in the backfield. They're going to toss it to Guy Bailey, looking for room, trying to get around the left side, and the Bulldogs close it down in a hurry. Maybe gets a yard.
So I think, now I'd love to see this. This is where I would love to benefit on replay. Guy Bailey strung that play out a long way, and the defense was playing great pursuit. So hats off to Hazard when I say this, but I think Guy Bailey might have just outrun his block. I think there was a hole that he could have run if he'd have just cut it inward instead of trying to string it all the way out to the outside.
Samala's going to split wide to the right. That stack eye in the backfield. That is going to be Keith and Preston Reed. Bailey dots that eye. Nice slant pattern, and we're going to get a hold or pass interference on Hazard. Samala called for it, and the flag come out, and it is going to be pass interference. So that should be a half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down. That will be a Remax Lake Time Realty first down. Put the Jumpers inside that Rick Barker red zone. So a break there for the Jumpers. So they'll be able to still pick up a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12. 4:18, clock running now in this first quarter of play. Again, the stack eye. Power formation off the right side. Bailey gets a block this time inside the 10 and down to about the 9-yard line, a gain of 3.
Bailey down inside the 10-yard line.
Bailey having to work for every yard that he's out there, and I have yet to see Cam Hughes check back into the game, so hopefully that young man's okay.
He's not sitting on the bench. My question is, if you look on the sideline, does he have his helmet on or in his hand?
It's in his hand.
Okay. That's usually a good sign that he's going to come back here shortly. Maybe leave him out till halftime and double check in the locker room. Stack eye in the backfield again. Bailey Third man through, and he gets it and hits a wall at the 10-yard line, goes nowhere.
Yeah. That's Bailey's 8th carry tonight. 18 total 18 total yards on the ground.
Been a little bit tough to come by. Now we see Preston Reed's going to check out. He's going to be replaced by Josh Gross. Also, we see Felix checking in, going to
put some speed out on the field. Sure, they're probably going to spread it out a little bit and try to get something. Not having a whole lot of luck on the ground game, but had a couple pretty nice passes.
Couple nice passes from Hughes. 3 receivers left. Felix in the backfield to the right. Looking to his left, has a man in the flat. That is going to be caught and struggling for a couple of extra yards. Gets it inside the 10. And it's that was on the reception. That was Guy Bailey. And Jumper's going to send the field goal unit out there. Anderson Rubel, 0 for 1 field goal wise on the season, but he is 19 of 20 on PATs and got an opportunity here to cut this lead down to 4 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go on a running clock. Snap. Kick is up, and did it get through there? It did.
Nice.
Anderson Rubel with the field goal cuts the lead down to 4. 7-3. Somerset trails Hazard. 1:59 to go in the first half.
Conveniently located off North Highway 27 between Big Lots and Backyard Burger, Magic Monograms is a place for custom embroidery, screen printing, and so much more. They can put your designs on medical and athletic uniforms, corporate and school apparel. Find them on Facebook. Search Magic Monograms and Embroidery. With 1 minute and 59 seconds left to go in the half, Hazard still leads, but the lead has been cut 7-3.
Yeah, so now.
Got a proud dad over here.
And why not?
Yeah.
It should be. Jason Rubel, father of the twins. So the Jumpers will get set to kick it off. This will be Ethan Rubel.
This is a time where the Somerset defense is really going to be tested because they really don't want to give up any points going into the half because they get the ball back.
Well, and that's one thing I was just about to mention. You know, if they can make some sort of a play happen and, you know, maybe create some havoc here in the last minute and 59 seconds. Even Rubel lining up as if he's going to possibly onside kick this thing. We'll see. Going to kick it, kind of the pooch kick, fielded at about the 30-yard line up to the 38, maybe 9. And that's where Hazard will have it, 1st and 10. We lost 4 seconds off the clock. Minute 55 to go, 7-4, Somerset. Trailing the Hazard Bulldogs. And how long was that field goal officially? Exactly.
What were they on? The
ball was on the 9-yard line, so we'll call it 25 yards.
There you go. You're asking me to do the math again, and we know that that's a no-go.
Hazard breaks the huddle. 2 receivers each way. It's a little bit different look. Been 3-1-1 the other most of the night. Fake the handoff. A little pass dropped on the outside. The intended receiver for the Bulldogs was Javon White.
Looks like I'm trying to get a number for you. That was number 18, Cam McCaskill, out there on the coverage. Good for that young man. I like to see that young man just get some confidence plays out there because he's got plenty of speed. Kid just needs some reps.
So 2nd down, clock stops on the incomplete pass. Jumpers still have, I believe, at least 2 timeouts, if not all 3. I think it's 2. Phelps drops back, fires across the middle over on this near seam, going up high for the ball. Tackled hard. That was Johnson who caught the pass, and on the defensive play for the Jumpers, that was Josh Gross.
Josh Gross right there to make the play, and that's what I was talking about earlier. You got to make a play on the person, not so much on the ball. You make a play on the person, you get the stop. You don't give up points. You give up a catch, but you don't give up points.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's a tough catch by Johnson
Yes,
to hang
was.
on to that ball. He's going to split out here wide to the left. Man in the backfield for the Bulldogs. That is number 10, Memphis Blankenship. Phelps takes the ball, rolls to his right, fires it in the
Might have been a
dirt.
little tipped.
Might have been, and we see Kylon Williams out there celebrating like he may have gotten a piece of it.
I think so. It looked like the ball came out of the hands really well, but would just became the uh-oh, got flag on the field, holding.
So a minute 18, I didn't see the flag. Somerset's field, as you can tell from the broadcast, has got that two-tone turf, that darker green, lighter green. When those yellow flags are on that lighter green,
it's hard
to see, especially on a colorblind old fat man like myself.
Well, next month they start throwing those pink flags in honor of the breast cancer awareness,
that's
so that's a
right.
little bit easier to see.
Might be something we ought to see if we can. Why don't we get them all to put the numbers in pink, too? That way we can see,
They actually have a
They do, don't they?
Yeah,
Somerset does have a set of jerseys.
Yep.
Pink numbers. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, 1 man in the backfield. That's Blankenship. Pass over here to Johnson. He takes the catch in front of the 50, now gets across into Somerset territory. Going to be about a yard, maybe. They're going to give him a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they are.
They may move the chains. Clock stopped right now to look at it, and that's got to be a first down.
But well, no, it looks like they're going to bring up second short.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. So quickly to the line of scrimmage. We're at 60 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd down and 1. Fake the handoff. Fire over here on the left side to Johnson. Missed tackle at the 37, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 25-yard line.
You're
Not sure he got out of bounds, but the clock
No.
stops with the first down.
He did not. But you're playing too far off the receiver. You got to jam him at the line of scrimmage because he's just running a route and getting out there.
Officials wind the clock. 42 seconds. Phelps quickly barks out the play to his lineman up front. Drops back, and now he got a false start on the right tackle for Hazard. That'll back him up 5. Stop the clock momentarily. 34 seconds to go in the half.
Somerset needs a really big defensive play right here to keep the clock in their favor and keep the ball in the backfield.
Hazard Bulldogs, we feel your pain on that one. That's something we've seen out of Somerset the last couple of weeks. They've done a pretty decent job in this second quarter tonight, avoiding the detrimental penalties. Phelps rolling to his right. Now he finds room to run. No flag, and Phelps continues to run. 25-20, going to be well short of the first down, and another late flag.
I don't know.
15 seconds to go.
The only thing I can figure is they're going to call that on Somerset, I believe, and they're going to call it because he had looks like the offensive player around the face mask again.
Well, at best for Hazard, it's going to be half the distance. So put the ball at the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yep, face mask. You just got to lower the hands, young man.
And we got a timeout on the field. That is a Ron Shaw Realtor timeout. 15 seconds to go in the half. 7-3. Bulldogs on top, but they're knocking on the door. Ball at the 10.
Henderson Chiropractic, committing to relieving your pain using the true principles of chiropractic care. They're carrying helpful team straws for excellence through extraordinary service and patient education. Dr. Henderson provides chiropractic care for injuries that occur during sports, auto accidents, work-related activities, or just everyday wear and tear. The experience you need and the results you want, that's Henderson Chiropractic.
So, reset things for you. 15 seconds to go in the half. 7-3 is your score. Bulldogs have it at the 9-yard line of the Briar Jumpers. Moving right to left as we look at it. Heading south. They called a timeout.
They've placed the ball. Now, here's the thing. Number 20 has been their offensive production most of the night. I have no doubt Max Johnson's getting ready to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
And you've got to have somebody lined up right over top of him to make a stop.
Okay. Trying to figure out there. Okay, the down marker does move. He was set up at the 12. Now he's moved down to the 9.
Of course, I say that, and they put number 10 in the
Johnson's
backfield.
wide left. Looking to the right is Phelps. Now he's going to run out of the pocket, looking for the end zone. Runs out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. He's inside the 5, 7
the
seconds to
4-yard
go.
line. Preston Reed able to get to the offensive player running the football and push him out of bounds to stop the clock, but also doesn't allow anything to get into the end zones. Right here is where you need a big goal line push.
So second down and goal from the 4-yard line. Maybe 2 plays.
Got a feeling they're going to.
If you throw it, I think you can get 2 snaps. If you run it, it's going to be tight. Again, Johnson's going to be wide out here to the left. Blankenship in the backfield next to Phelps. Phelps looking to the right, corner route. Lot of battling, and a late flag. 1 second on the clock. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
But 1 second to go at the 2-yard line. Here's where you got to have the big goal line stop.
And the 1 second's insignificant because that was going to be either
another time down.
Right.
Well, it looks like they're going to line up to go for the field goal.
Ball on the 2-yard line.
It's an interesting play call, but
so set up at the 9. It'll be a 19-yard field goal attempt. Jumped off sides. Kick is up. Looks like it went through. It did. And I don't even see a flag. I'm not sure how. Somerset wasn't off sides, but it is good, and that's going to extend the lead back to 7 in favor of the Hazard Bulldogs. We're at halftime here from Clark Field, 10-3 in favor of Somerset. We're going to step out, come back, and talk about the first half, get you set for the second. You're watching Toyota Somerset's high school football on Lake Cumberland Sports.
of our returning Somerset High graduates. We hope homecoming is an enjoyable time for you, filled with fond memories of your high school years and a sense of pride in your alma mater as we continue to strive.
Halftime here at Clark Field. Somerset trailing the Hazard Bulldogs 10-3 as the Bulldogs were able to tack on a field goal as time expired. Let's go ahead and give you a real quick scoring recap, and there's not a lot to bring to you. The Bulldogs got on the board first at the 6:08 mark of the first quarter as Landon Smith caught a 32-yard pass from Max Pelfrey, and the extra point by Ambergy was good, 7-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. And then with 1:59 to go, Somerset, a 25-yard field goal attempt by Anderson Rubel got through, and that cut the lead down to 7-3. Hazard was able to come back as time expired, as we just mentioned, and it was an Ambergy 19-yard field goal, which made the lead 10-3 in favor of the Bulldogs, and that was a penalty-aided drive there to allow the Bulldogs to get the score. So hasn't been the cleanest of ball games as far as that goes, but we've seen Somerset this year, and penalties have been detrimental. It was on that drive. But overall, they seem to be a little bit more disciplined than what we've seen in weeks past.
That's true. They've had 3 penalties for a total of 20 yards, but actually they're winning the penalty war here. I know Hazard's got quite a few. One thing that Somerset is winning is the turnover war. Now, they have had 2 turnovers on downs, and they've had 1 fumble, but Hazard has also fumbled the ball twice. Some halftime stats to give you all. On rushing yardage, you've got 8 carries for 18 yards for Guy Bailey. Number 13, Cam Hughes, has 2 carries for 6 yards. Number 21, Lee Felix, has 2 carries for a negative 4 yards. Number 17, Chris Hughes, has had 3 carries for 22 yards. And Chase Keith, 1 carry for 4 yards. In the air right now, number 17, Chris Hughes, is 5 for 8. With 1 completion going to Cam Hughes for negative 2 yards, 1 completion going to number 84, Guy Bailey, for 2 yards, 1 reception for number 85, Tony Palmer, for 13 yards, 1 reception for number 6, Josh Gross, for 8 yards, and 1 reception for 29 yards to Caden Samala. Not a whole lot of offense being generated, but that's about 40 yards in the air and passing. And I'm trying to do the math in my head, which I should have done to begin with, but 46 yards of total rushing for the first half.
Somerset trails it as you're watching halftime festivities. Glad we can bring you that here from Clark Field. And do want to announce ahead of time, we're going to break it to you folks out there before the public address announcer does. I know who won the float contest.
Do you?
Would you care to venture a guess? You went to the parade earlier today. That's such a cool tradition, by the way, that the parade, they leave the high school, come through downtown. A lot of people, I work with some Somerset graduates, they were excited to get down there and check it out. But we have a winner in the float contest.
I was there, and on
don't look at my answer.
I was there Sunday night.
I saw you sneaking a peek.
I want to know. Here's the thing. Looking at the designs that came up with, I think the 2 designs that stood out to me are the junior and sophomore class. The sophomore class had a danger. I'm trying to remember all the themes here. I think the freshman class, theirs was Thunderstruck, because they all did a music theme.
Okay.
The sophomore class did Danger Zone, which is Top Gun. Their float looked really great. The junior class did an Elvis float, and I thought the Elvis float looked really, really nice.
I heard some commentary on the Elvis float, and it was pretty good.
And I'm not real sure.
Cecil was doing his best Elvis imitation.
He was. They actually had a red flag on him and a Vivo Lost Jumpers on the back of it, too. And then I'm not 100% sure. I think they just did a general rock and roll theme for the senior class. So I'm going to say it's going to come down between the junior and sophomore class.
Well,
Those two.
That's pretty good deduction there. I tell you what, that's why he's the best analyst in the business.
Yeah, well,
folks.
I had a 2 out of 4. I'm going to hope this year it actually goes to the junior class. The reason I say that is, one, I'm biased. I have a kid that's a junior. But I also know that junior class has come in third both years, freshman and sophomore. Both times they put forth the effort. And this year they just had a really nice flow. So that's going to be my hope.
Well, I don't know what place the junior class ended up in. In your vote, they finished second, but the winner was the sophomore class with the danger zone. And I heard a lot of commentaries. I can't wait to look at the pictures. Of course, we've got our photographer down there, Tracia McChrystal, down there getting photographs for us, and we thank Don Franklin, Family of Dealerships, our official photography sponsor of Lake Cumberland Sports, and she's going to have pictures. We'll post some of those as well because of the homecoming festivities. So we do know that the sophomore class has won the float contest as the last couple of nominees for homecoming queen and their escorts make their way out to the middle of the field here at Clark Field. Some fine-looking young people out there, and pretty cool tradition that Somerset has with their homecoming. It's a big deal.
It is.
In a high school like Somerset. And
I would like to believe that there's probably not a lot of schools in the state of Kentucky that have a homecoming parade that shuts down their downtown. If there are others, which odds are high, there's 121 counties in the state of Kentucky. But if not, I mean, if it's one of the few, it's still something major because I got a picture of the crowd that's downtown, and they all over the square, and it's just a really nice sight for everybody to see once.
All right. We may just be quiet here and see if we can't listen to Jonathan Absher as he gets ready to announce the 2022 homecoming queen and escort. We'll see what happens there. But again, 10-3 is your score. We are at halftime. A little bit of an extended halftime, so bear with us as they celebrate homecoming here. And we saw a couple of class reunions out behind in the field, tailgating. I believe I saw class of 1987. Here we go.
Of the Somerset High School student body. Would Samantha Ledford please come forward to be recognized as the 2022 Homecoming Queen?
And there you heard it. Samantha Ledford has been selected as queen here at Somerset High School for the 2022 homecoming. How about that?
Yeah, that's nice. You can tell that she was a little surprised, but happy nonetheless, and good for that young lady because that's something that she can remember all her life.
Indeed, it is. Believe it or not, when I played high school football, king. I was not king.
Oh.
We didn't have king and queen. We just had escorts. So for the court, but you had one nominee from each class and two nominees from the senior class. One represented the class, the other was queen. And football players actually got to escort them, and the proceedings took place before the game.
Right.
And they would drive around in Corvettes, usually convertibles, and the football player would escort them across the field, and they had a special place for them to sit and watch the game. But I was an escort my senior year, along with one of my classmates, Steve Campbell. And here's how we got elected. You're going to love this. I remember hearing in the locker room somebody said, Boone and Campbell haven't ever done it before. Let's just vote them in. So it was taken real serious, and I have a picture to prove it. I'll bring it next time if you need me to. But, I was honored to be an escort in our homecoming. But so that's it, and there you go. You hear it.
Yep, sophomore class wins. I told you that float, super creative. They put some lights. They put some real nice special effects on it. A lot of good work. Last year, the sophomore class won. Call it a two-peat.
A two-peat.
Repeat.
Well, wait. If it was the sophomore class last year, wouldn't that be the?
No, it was the freshman class that won last year. This class won it.
Okay, so this class has won 2 years in a row.
Will it be a three-peat? We'll see.
All right. Well, we got to wait a year. We got about 7 minutes, 40 seconds left on the game clock as the jumper band makes their way across the field. And, of course, we'll have a 3-minute mandatory warm-up as well. But Let's talk a little bit about that first half. We touched on it, a couple of detrimental penalties, but Somerset winning the turnover battle.
Somerset winning the turnover battle does surprise me a little bit. That's something that they've been kind of plagued with all season long. It just tells me that this Somerset defense has come out to play. Now, have they been gashed for some big yards and big plays? Yes. But there's been some adjustments made, and it's kind of calmed some of that down. Now, Hazard's found something that they've kind of exploited here, is putting the Johnson kid out here on the edge and throwing the ball to him, because you can just tell the young man's got athleticism to burn for days. And you're going to have to put good on good. You're going to have to make some adjustments to give somebody that's going to jam him at the line of scrimmage and just throw the timing of the play off.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because they did. They moved Johnson out as a wide receiver. They bring Blankenship in the backfield with very little intention of giving him the ball. What I noticed, though, after the first couple times that they targeted Johnson, they went away from him.
Right.
And when you target Johnson the way they were, Somerset, adjusting a little bit, rolling an extra safety over, and that tends to open up things on the opposite side. And I really believe that was the key to that Hazard drive, being able to get the 3 points there at the end of this first half. That and a pass interference penalty in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, well, they stuck number 18, Cam McCaskill, out there on number 20, and that's putting really a lot of pressure on Cam McCaskill. Now, I'm proud of that he's held his own. You've got to give that young man as many reps as you can if you're going to want to mold him into something. He's got skill, he's got speed, but you're also asking him to be one of the more, and I don't want to use this term to talk negatively about the kid, but he's probably one of the more vanilla covered corners that's on this team. So really, you're kind of putting that young man at a disadvantage by making him cover that guy. You want him to get his reps, and you want him to, like I say, you want him to learn from the best, but you also got to have somebody like Hayden Dick who's out there who's jamming him on the wide receiver. Because I remember back to the Russell County game, we had a guy that was out there just burning us left and right out on the edge, and they put him out there and just disrupted Tom, and it just took the whole passing game away from Russell County.
Yeah, nothing against Cameron McCaskill, but
No.
he's a junior, but he doesn't have a lot of football playing experience,
Right.
and that's, I think, what you're trying to get at. And so, they need to be able to roll some coverage over a little bit, help him out over there, but that does make things a little more available. Now, in that first half of play, Landon Smith, one of the leading receivers on this team, came in with 24 catches, 346 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Went out with an injury, and I don't know if I don't believe he got back in that final series, so we'll see if he comes out. Also for Hazard, we know Johnson went out, looked like after a really hard hit, but only spent one play on the sideline, and then he come back in. I would really like to see, there's not, this week in terms of professional football, there has been a boatload of talk about, protocols and
yes.
concussions and all of that. High school, there really isn't one. They do have a physician or at least, medical personnel on the sidelines. But I'm not saying, I don't know what it was, but might be something that to look at, because I don't think you can ever be too safe when it does. Somerset, they pulled
Cam Hughes
out, sat him for a series or so, to make sure he was okay. He got checked over by the Somerset staff, which that takes place right in front of us.
Right.
And we could kind of see that they were working with him. But that's just something to maybe chew on a little bit, when we look at high school football, because the last thing we want to see is kids get injured in this ball game. This is supposed to be a fun sport, and it is a fun sport. We have seen some real collisions out there tonight.
We have. We've seen some really hard hits, and I think now, we benefit from a replay like anything else, but, that's just technology. It's a little tough to have, but I'm pretty sure that the contact that brought Cam Hughes out, he was trying to go low to avoid contact, and number 20, it's just a helmet to helmet, and I think they both took a shot that kind of, I think Cam Hughes took the worst of it. But hopefully the young man, like you said, took that quarter off, got him down there into the locker room, and they reevaluated him. I was trying to watch to see if I see number 13 out here warming up with helmet on or not. So it just from this distance, it's hard to tell.
Indeed it is. And, yeah, I want to emphasize, we didn't feel like there was any malicious.
No.
You know, it was just one of those things
Yeah.
when, you know, you're always taught in football, low man wins.
Right.
And when you both go low, sometimes that happens. There was nothing there with any intent.
No intent.
And I agree with you. It's kind of a mutual contact. But sometimes you got to remember football isn't just a contact sport. It's a collision sport.
Yes, it is.
We got about 2 minutes to go. Jumpers have made their way back out onto the field to begin their warm-up period. And Robert, while we got a moment, we want to just give a shout-out to all of our friends and folks in the great state of Florida.
Oh, yes,
and now along the East Coast dealing with Hurricane Ian, who's gone for the double, if you will. He cut across Florida, worked his way out, and then has made its way back in and hit land a second time on our Atlantic coast. And that's just kind of an odd situation, but a bad situation in Florida, lots of flooding. I heard today 42,000 linemen are down there to help repair power lines, so kudos to those guys. And one of them just happens to be the father of Chris and Cam Hughes.
Yeah, Davin Hughes is down there.
And so if you're listening or watching, Davin, shout out to you. Thank you for what you do. I know you guys got a rough time coming up ahead of you, but I know you guys will work hard and get the power back up down there for those folks. And we just pray and hope that the loss, especially loss of human life, is limited. We don't know all the results yet, but prayers, thoughts, and all that we can do with you folks in Florida and now along the Atlantic coast, North and South Carolina.
Entrust Healthcare Counseling Services have made it their mission to be the trusted leader in promoting mental health in Kentucky for the last 23 years. We personalize your service to meet your needs, whether it's in our office, over the phone, or through your computer. Call Entrust at 606-676-0638 to get services started today from anywhere in Kentucky. You can always visit their Facebook page at Entrust Healthcare Counseling Service to learn more about how they can help you and your family today. At Entrust, your mental health matters.
So just trying to look through the goggles here, get a number.
I think I saw Cam Hughes trot out there on the field, helmet on, which is a good sign.
That is a good sign. Hazard Bulldogs have made their way out onto the field for warm-ups, and the clock winds down, and they'll put 3 more minutes up there. We're going to step out, come back, get you set for the second half of action right here on Lake Cumberland Sports.
Rick Barker with Galby Realty and Auction. We're excited to be a part of presenting the 2022 high school football broadcast. At Galby Realty and Auction, we strive every day to offer you the top-notch, most professional real estate and auction service around. We were voted the 2022 top real estate and auction company by the Reader's Choice Awards. Give us a call today and let us serve your real estate and auction needs. Good luck to all our high school teams this season. We are proud of all of you.
Hi, I'm Michael Laxton, President and CEO of United Cumberland Bank. At UCB, we know that being involved in the community is really important, and the Chamber is just one of the ways that we do that. We do outreach through the schools. Specifically, we love local sports programs, helped out with several playgrounds across our markets. Any way we can help in the community and get involved. We try to be involved in all of our communities and markets. Our customers are our neighbors too. As a community bank, we want to be part of the community.
Most accidents and breakdowns happen close to home. You know who else is close to home? Tire Pros. With our 24/7 roadside assistance, we're always there for you. And our team of trained and certified technicians can repair your brakes, transmission, electrical, and more. Looking for tires? Shopping online is fast and easy. Choose from our huge selection of name brand tires, then schedule an appointment to have them professionally installed at a time that's convenient for you. Hassle-free, guaranteed. Tire Pros. We're here.
Out here in the real world, we've spent too much time waiting around and wondering if we'll ever get to be what we really want to be. Now it's time to move forward. And with a little help from Somerset Community College, you can finish that degree or start a whole new life as an IT VIP, a healthcare hero, and more. In less time and for less money than you think. The time is now. The place is here. Never underestimate you.
House for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home.
Available now.
Looking for cash? Well, look no more. Alton Blakely's got cash Is that cash, Daniel?
Yep.
And you're giving cash for cars?
Yep.
For real?
Yep.
Why not? Then on down to Alton Blakely, where selling your car is as easy as ABC. If you have a vehicle you'd like to sell or trade, it's fast and easy to get paid. And we'll give you top dollar. Visit Alton Blakely today. All the best since 1965.
"24 minutes of regulation football left here from the Briar Patch. As we wind down halftime, it's 10-3 in favor of the Hazard Bulldogs. Jumpers will get the ball to start this second half. Congratulations once again to the sophomore class and for winning the float contest. And I did not write the name down of the young lady who was named homecoming queen. We'll get that back to you as well. Jumpers will field the ball at the north end of the field. I'm sorry, at the south end of the field. They will be heading north. Hazard with their backs to Highway 80.
We want to remind everybody to be sure to watch Buffalo Wings and Rings Video Game of the Week on Lake Cumberland Sports. Our next video broadcast is North Laurel versus Pulaski County. Wings created your way and always fresh, never frozen burgers.
We've not had many of them, but this Kemper Furniture kickoff is going to be caught at the 37-yard line, taking off right up the middle. And Hazard not wanting to kick the ball deep, and with that they give up pretty good field position to the Jumpers. They're going to be just shy of midfield. Ball at the 49, 1st and 10, Somerset.
I think that ball fell right into Riley Carter's lap, and he wasn't even expecting it, but he got it standing up, able to return it to almost midfield, where we'll start Somerset 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line.
We appreciate Kemper Home Furnishing sponsoring our kickoffs here, a new sponsor for us. And now we've got whistles, stoppage in play, waiting to make sure we got everybody in place where they need to be. I think we got it. 1st and 10. Empty backfield this time for Chris Hughes. 3-step drop. He's going to air it out over on the right. Caught by Palmer at the 35-yard line. What a job by Antonio Palmer, Tony Palmer. Great catch there as he came back for that ball, and he fought for it.
He came back for the ball and fought for it, something that we haven't really seen him do a whole lot this season. But you have to want the football, and that's exactly what the young man did. Brings up 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Yep, and a nice timing route. Good job there by Hughes to get the ball to him. Now we got some confusion. Looks like Jack Brenner turning around saying, I don't know what the play is, or we're missing personnel. We'll get a timeout, Somerset. 12 seconds on the play clock. I guess they've got it all figured out. Empty backfield now. Felix, they fake the handoff to him. Off to the left side. That's Hughes down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 3.
Quarterback keeper designed all the way. Tried to get a little something off the motion to Lee Felix. Used him as the decoy. Get a gain of about 3 yards on that play. But Chris Hughes showing that he's tough.
Yeah, really like this young man, and he's an outstanding athlete.
Sky's the limit for this young man. I mean, just showing what kind of willpower and strength that this young man, he's just rose to the occasion in the absence of Josh Bruner.
Gross, split out wide to the right. Palmer to his inside, and then Felix inside of him. Hughes takes the snap, 3-step drop, gets flushed out of the pocket, moving to his right. Got to make a decision, has a man open, and just led Josh Gross a little bit too far.
Led him a little too far, ball thrown a little bit high. It's hard to set your feet on the run and try to deliver it to the right spot, but show some good strength by the young man to be able just to place it in a position where it was
and you got to think
by him.
With them trying to go downfield with that one that the Jumpers are thinking 4 downs here all the way. And a pass play, a couple of them here, opens the defense up a little bit. They got to play a little softer, 2 safeties back deep, and that will aid the running game somewhat.
I'd like to see him use some kind of a little bit of an out pattern for just 6 to 8 yards. They don't have to gain touchdown
Hughes
yardage right
empties
here.
the backfield once again, rolls to his right, and fires
Underthrown.
that one a little bit prematurely, looking for Gross in the flat.
Found Gross in the flat, but he was, if caught, he would have caught it at point of contact and still been a little bit short of the first down.
Guy Bailey checking in. Hughes gets the play call from the sideline. Still 27 seconds on the play clock. Like to see him that they're using the play clock here tonight. We have some officials crews that don't want to mess with it, evidently. We've had a couple of games here where they didn't, but tonight,
in use.
Operating well, and it's handy to have. Two backs in the backfield, Felix and Bailey. Hughes, quarterback draw, takes off up the middle, makes a man miss at the 30, and he's going to pick up the first down inside the 25 at the 24-yard line, and a nifty little sidestep there by 17.
That was a good heads-up play. Saw nothing open, saw a seam, took it. And that's what you want from a freshman quarterback. You want him to play heads up, keep looking downfield, and make a play. Keeps the drive alive, too.
Indeed it does. First down and 10. That is another Remax Lake Time Realty first down. Again, two backs in the backfield. Little cross buck action. This time they give it to Bailey off the left side, looking for a little room. Finds a little, but it's going to be a short gain, maybe 2 yards. I think he's only going to get one out of it, the way they're acting down there on the field. So it'll be second down and 9, Jumpers. We are at the 9:25 mark. Pretty nice little opening drive. Jumpers started this drive on their own 48-yard line, but 9:18 to go, 10-7 on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Gross and Palmer to the right. Samala lined up to the left, two backs in the backfield. Takes the snap, rolling to his right, looks for a man over the middle, and there was some contact, and absolutely, I agree with the call, and I don't think Hazard's going to like it, but there were a lot of hands on the back of Josh Gross.
A lot of hands on the back and a push to the back to force him to the ground.
The back judge didn't call it, but I don't think he could see it like we could from up here, and a good job by the head linesman to throw the flag. That's going to be a first down, another Remax Lake Time Realty first down. So half the distance to the goal line. Ball was on the 22, put it on the 11. It'll be first and 10. Now they're going to say it's on the 12.
So it's on 24? Okay. Yeah, all right.
So first and 10. Jumpers can get a first down if they get it down to the 2-yard line. Samala split wide to the right. Instead, they hand it off up the middle. That's Bailey, and he's going to fall across the 10-yard line, picks up a couple. Jumpers, once again, in the Rick Barker red zone, and they've got to take advantage of it on this drive.
They really do. You're already deep into the territories. It's obviously going to be 4 downs, but you got to keep momentum going forward. You got to gain yards every play here.
Pretty nice little run, even though didn't look like it was going to go for much. Bailey able to scrap 3 yards out of that. Gross split out way wide to the right. They give it to Keith. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, lose a couple, back to the 10. So that'll make it third down. Call it 9 again.
Trying to catch him a little bit asleep on that, a little bit
of
trickery.
Now we see Felix checking into the ball game for the Jumpers. It's Lee Felix.
Third down and 9.
I've seen Lee come in and provide an offensive spark quite a few times this season. Right now would be a key time for him to make something huge happen right here.
Just instead of a spark, how about some fire?
There you go.
Bailey lined up to the right of Chris Hughes. Fake the handoff to him. Hughes keeps it, thinks about going up the middle, does it, then cuts back up the middle, gets inside the 10. But that's about it. He did get the ball in the middle of the field, so on comes the field goal unit. Anderson Rubel going to try for his second field goal of the night. 1 for 2 on the season field goal wise. And has been 19 of 20 from PAT range. Ball on the 10. So that'll set it up at about the 17, 27-yard field goal attempt.
A little bit longer field goal attempt this time.
Yep. Brody Williams, the
straight
holder.
on.
Snap. It's a good one. Down. Kick is up. Did it get inside? It did.
Good.
It is good. And Somerset cuts the lead back down to 4 for the second time tonight. 10-6 with 6:50 to go on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard.
Susan Hansford believes that just like in a ball game, everyone needs a coach in the important events in life. Having a great realtor when purchasing a home or property makes all the difference in the outcome of the transaction. Susan Hansford will guide you through the transaction so that you can appreciate the journey through the real estate process. Call Susan Hansford today at 606-219-3276 to begin your journey. With 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard, Hazard still leads 10-6.
So they miss out on the Citizens National Bank touchdown, but a pair of Anderson Rubel field goals have kept the Jumpers in this game, and now defensively. And I think more importantly there, Robert, was the fact that the Jumpers took over 5 minutes on that drive on a shorter field. Yes, you want to see him get the ball in the end zone, but you got to really like the fact that drive did end in some points. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot with any penalties, and they didn't turn the ball over.
That's right.
This one could be trouble.
Whoever just outran it. I just couldn't get a number on the player down there, but it bounced right next to him or just right behind him.
Ball's going to go out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. Mark it at the 44. So that's where the Hazard Bulldogs will have it. They could take it at the 35 or the 44, and obviously the furthest most point.
At the 44-yard line. First and 10 for the Bulldogs.
And one thing you rarely see anymore, and I know a couple of coaches, they always like to make teams kick. Okay, it's 5 yards from where it went out of bounds. So, wow, that brings the ball all the way out to the 49. So first and 10, kind of like deja vu all over again. And now we've got a timeout. Somerset, they had too many people on the field. So some discombobulation for the Jumpers defense, but they don't get penalized for it. They do have to burn a timeout.
Conveniently located off North Highway 27 between Big Lots and Backyard Burger, Magic Monograms is the place for custom embroidery, screen printing, and so much more. They can put your design on medical and athletic uniforms, corporate and school apparel. Find them on Facebook. Search Magic Monograms and Embroidery.
So Jumpers will get defense all set. 6:50 to go here in this third quarter of play. They lead it 10-0. It is Hazard Bulldog football on their own 48-yard line, 49-yard line.
I should have went back and tried to find a score of last year's game at Hazard. I remember it was, I want to say the score was like 17-0 at half, and I think maybe Hazard ended up winning 38-0 or 35-0 last year. It was just a hard night for Somerset's offense.
Pulaski County having no issues whatsoever with South Laurel. Over at the place, it's always tough to play. Handoff up the middle. Johnson takes it, and he is going to pick up about 8 or 9 yards on the carry. So Max Johnson back where we are used to seeing him most of that first half, lined up at the tailback spot. See a little.
He comes up a
no,
little.
That's not him. That's one of the offensive linemen.
Comes up a little.
Gimpy.
Gimpy.
Second down and 2.
He's still out there. I mean, that's
Kenyon Higgins. Also plays defense for the Bulldogs. Snap a little low, but handed off to Johnson. He's going to get across the line of scrimmage and an extra yard or two to pick up the first down, move the chains. Bulldogs have it at the 40, 1st and 10. And they backed it up to the 41. Did they still give them the first down? Okay.
Yeah.
Clock under 6 minutes.
You got
been a good one. Been a defensive battle, if you will.
It has. Proud of the way this defense has responded.
Yep.
After getting just beat up early in this football game.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. H-back lined up behind the left tackle. Here comes some pressure from the jumpers. Hit and met in the backfield. Ball's on the ground. Somerset has recovered it. Jumpers create another turnover. Picking it up and covering it is Guy Bailey.
I wish I could have got a number on whoever got in there and stuck their helmet just to knock that ball out. It was a beautiful play.
I agree with you. I'd like to know myself. Beautiful play. Defensively, jumpers timed the pressure perfectly. And that's going to give the Somerset the football. They're going to say he was down back at the 43-yard line. But nonetheless, it's jumper football. 3 receivers to the right. Gross, Palmer, Felix. 1 man in the backfield. They give it to him. That's Guy Bailey, and he hits a wall at the line of scrimmage. Maybe going to give him a yard.
Maybe. That's the 11th carry for Guy Bailey tonight for a total of 23 yards. Just not characteristic, that young man. He's hitting the actual available hole as hard as he can. It's just getting stuffed every time.
So 2nd down and 9, 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in this third quarter of play. Jumpers trailing 10-6 on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Snap, quick toss to Felix. Trying to get some speed to get around the edge, and nicely defended there. And we got a late flag, or a flag coming in as contact was made. Javon White was the man who set the edge on that quarter, but we got a hold, or
it's either that or maybe a chop block.
Yeah, holding against the jumpers. Well, he didn't tell who it was against, but we pretty much know. They're going to mark that one off from into the run, I guess. They didn't mark it from the spot.
Into the run?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
10 yards from the spot of the foul, places the ball at the 37-yard line.
37-yard line, that's a big penalty against the jumpers. It would have been around 3rd and, say, 6.
Now you're looking at 3rd and
second.
Second and 15.
Get to replay the down, yeah. I'm going to say 2nd down and 16.
I like your math better.
Thank you. It's really not that good. I wore a lot of pencils in school. Pencil erasers. Hughes scrambling, gets out of the pocket, still looking downfield. Now reverses and he fumbles the ball and just absolutely, you're right.
He stuck that ball straight out. Should have just tucked it and ran.
Logan Thomas on the recovery for Hazard, and that's going to give the Bulldogs good field position, and that's where the young man is going to have to learn. Take your loss right there and live for another play.
That's right.
So the turnover gives the ball back to Hazard.
Ball on the Somerset 37-yard line.
4:21 to go in this third period. Cool night on this final day of September.
It was a little warmer out today than I expected it to be.
It did get a little bit. I had a sweatshirt on, and wasn't quite what I expected. Pelfrey takes the snap, looks, going to go down to this left side, and that is going to be picked off by Brody Williams. And now late flags come in. They're going to call pass interference.
Oh, no.
It's not, the pass interference isn't going to be on Williams. He stepped in front. So let's see here, because the officials talk it out, but not 1 but 2 flags. So, and we've got an injured player on the field. That's Williams. He came down with the football.
Can't get a number. Would you say is Brody Williams, or is it
Well,
Josh
they're bringing
Gross?
the ball all the way back, so that's going to be pass interference on Somerset.
And then 15 yards from there.
Yep. Gross still down on the field. Nope. Is that?
A little bit of a cramp, maybe?
Not really sure.
Yeah, he's coming up. I saw him out there stretching that leg.
Yeah.
At the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
And now we got a penalty that's going to go against the Somerset bench. Sideline warning. Don't know if it's going to be a warning or if it's going to be a
penalty. Yep, it looks like a sideline warning first.
Sideline warning. Somerset.
And that's just the official letting them sideline know that he doesn't want to hear any more lip service. Play's over, got to move on. So it'll be first down and 10, ball on the 22 of Somerset. They hand it off to Johnson in the backfield, and he is going to be wrapped up back there.
Looks like Keith and Kylon Williams both right there on the stop.
Chase Keith, the initial contact for the Briar Jumpers.
Had two Briar Jumper defensive linemen up front. Preston Reed and Josh Brenner both got twisted on the play, but Chase Keith and Kylon Williams stayed with the play for what looks like a 1 yard loss.
Talking to Coach Swearingen earlier, he said Kylon gets upset when he gets double and triple teamed. They're trying to convince him that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Two receivers to the left. Man in the backfield, that's Johnson. Quarterback going to throw to nobody out here at the 10-yard line. Miscommunication by QB and receiver. As that was intended for Pilfrey, Hank Pilfrey. And
I think they maybe expected him to run.
Yeah, he was looking for an out pattern.
And he just ran it to the end zone. He was coming back here to tell the quarterback, so, man, I wanted the ball. I wanted to score.
And there's a lot of Pilfreys in that part of the world. I'm not sure if they're related brothers or not, but I will tell you, the incomplete pass forces a 3rd and 11. 3:29. Third down and 11. Johnson in the backfield. Phillips, and we got a flag in the background. Drops the football, picks it back up, gets the perfect bounce, and now going to be dropped for a loss. Ball's out again, and they've blown it dead.
No. How do you blow the whistle
official
on that?
Blew the play dead on the second fumble of the play.
Unreal.
And they're going to say he was down.
There are flags down.
But there's also penalty markers down.
Good grief.
If I'm Somerset, I'm not sure. I probably decline the penalty. It would make it about 4th down and 15. 14 maybe. Declined is the call.
Holding is the call against the Bulldogs.
Let him know.
So they decline the penalty, and now it'll be Bulldog should. I'm not sure yet. We're still waiting. I think it's going to be 4th down. Hazard. Ball at the 27-yard line. That'll make it 4th down and about 14.
Still no decision.
Trying to get a
there.
ball in from the Hazard sideline. That's what we've been waiting on.
So you said it right there. 4th and 20 set. 4th at the 20. 4th down on the 20. Good grief. I put my teeth in. I'll try this again.
Got the tongue fixed, but the mouth still broke.
I tell you, man.
Well,
what is wrong?
So are we going to see a field goal
attempt? I did not stay
attempt?
at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Yeesh.
4th and 15 for Bulldogs.
So 4th down and officially 15. Clock winds. 3 minutes, 13 seconds to go.
Looks like Hazard
Bulldogs
going to
go for it. Let's see. Pooch punt. Nope. Dropping back, looking, a little screen pass over here on the left side. That's Johnson looking for room. He's going to be well short of the first down, tackled at about the 17-yard line. Jumpers get the ball back on downs. Nice job defensively that time by Somerset.
Yeah, Kylon Williams was out there disrupting the play. I thought he was going to get another stop.
It'll be a turnover on downs for the Bulldogs.
But we'll take the turnover on downs. It's just Somerset's got to get something going offensively. There's just no rhythm this whole game. It's just, and credit to the Hazard defense for causing that too.
Nice job of sportsmanship there, Kylon Williams, with one of the Bulldog offensive linemen. That was Kenyon Higgins. They just kind of fist bumped as Kylon making his way off to the sideline, appreciating a good battle against each other. One man in the backfield, that is Bailey. He's going to take the ball around the left side, looking, makes one man miss, gets across the 20 and maybe another yard, so gain of 3.
Making Guy Bailey earn every single yard. 12th carry tonight, 36 yards.
It's been a tough row to hoe, as they like to say.
Yep. Hazard defense just.
Felix comes out, checking into the ball game for the Jumpers. We see Ryland Carter. Also, we see Braden McChrystal. He's going to split out wide to the right. One wide receiver split to the left. H-back to the right. Bailey fakes to the right, comes back to the left, finds some room, breaks through the line of scrimmage, gets the first down and then some. Out across the 35 to the 37 for another Remax Lake Time Realty first down. That's the best running play we've seen tonight out of the Jumpers.
Yeah, it's one of the few running plays that gathered anything more than 10 yards. I think the longest running play up until that point was a long run by Chris Hughes to start the game for 12 yards. So it was nice to see a sustaining run on this drive.
So 1st and 10, Jumpers. Carter's going to line up as the H-back on the right side. One wide receiver each way. Give the ball off the right side to Bailey. Makes a man, tries to juke a man at the 38. He's going to fall at the 39. Give him 1 yard. Johnson, we've called his name a couple times tonight.
Yes, we have.
And a couple is said facetiously. And I don't even know what that word means.
I was getting ready to ask the same thing. I use it in a sentence a lot.
I do too.
I don't know if I use it correctly.
I just try to make people think that I'm really smart.
Well,
and all I got to do is open my mouth and they find out different.
Yep, that's me, dumber than a bag of hammers.
Wide receiver each way, wing to the left. Hughes has it knocked down. That was a fine defensive play by Memphis Blankenship.
That was. He just stuck his hands up.
And Palmer was open.
Palmer was open. The only thing that you really could have done was just floated that pass, but he didn't.
I'd rather him try to fire it in there and get it knocked down. The floats just scare me to death.
Yes, they do.
Floating footballs. Homecoming floats, beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the sophomore class.
Yes.
Danger Zone. Top Gun theme.
You've
seen the movie, haven't you?
I have.
Was that not the greatest?
The first one.
Hughes rolls out left, looking, and fires it, and it's over the head of Palmer, his intended receiver, against the far sideline. It's going to make it 4th down and 9, and Somerset will punt the ball away. Of course, we haven't mentioned that Collier White, Somerset's regular punter, has been out.
Yeah, they mentioned in the coaches' show that he dislocated that shoulder again in practice.
Yeah, thought he was ready to make his way back, and unfortunately this week. So Bailey will punt. Johnson's going to set up at his own 35, 36-yard line. Bailey, good snap. Quickly gets it away,
nice
and a
punt.
nice punt over Johnson's head. It's going to take a jumper. Well, it's going to bounce down to the 20-yard line, where it'll be down there by Somerset's Grayson Gulock.
Stressed, anxious, depressed at Entrust Healthcare Counseling Services. We can get services started today. Entrust offers you the flexibility of providing you with counseling services in their office, on the phone, or through their computer. Give them a call at 606-676-0638 or visit their website at entrust-healthcare.com. At Entrust, your mental health matters.
Saw Ryland Carter limping off after that. Of course, a couple of times he's had to come off. We believe he's been dealing with some cramping issues, but put that in your notebook.
Yeah, I was trying to gather him on the sideline. He's standing by himself, so maybe he's okay, maybe just a little.
Max Pelfrey, I think I've called him Phelps 3 or 4 times tonight, and I apologize to the Hazard fans. Pelfrey takes the snap, hands off to Johnson, who spins away from a would-be tackler, the first one, but not Keith, who wraps him up in the backfield. Chase Keith came into the night with a couple tackles for loss, and I think that's his second of the night.
I was trying to get a number, and I can't tell you if that was number 24, I think it was. Jacob Duarte came in untouched. And that's what you got to have. You got to have somebody that just stops the momentum of the play so the defense can catch up. Chase Keith there to clean it up.
So third quarter is complete as clock ticks under 7 seconds. Jumpers make their way to the sidelines. We're going to step out, and I believe for a commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been serving and supporting our local communities. We want you to know that we are here for you and your family. Someone you can trust, someone you can count on, now and for the better days to come. Trusted, loyal, dedicated, helpful, and consistent. Toyota of Somerset. Come see us or visit us online at toyotaofsomerset.com.
We, the people of this great land, are resilient and will get through this. And buying and selling is the real stimulus. Land and real estate are the premium investments, and they're not just making any more land. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we'll get you the most for your property with live, online, and multi-parcel auctions. Selling farms, homes, developments, and commercial properties for top dollar. Give us a call or online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Welcome back to the Briar Patch. Clark Field, fourth quarter, 12 fresh minutes up on the Randall D scoreboard. It sees Hazard leading this contest by a score of 10-6.
Looks like it'll be second down and about 12 yards to start the fourth quarter for the Hazard Bulldogs. One key stop right off the first down play into the quarter, but
yep.
Hopefully Somerset can keep up that same momentum.
Well, again, we have seen the Jumpers have success defensively when they get the Bulldogs behind the chains. So it'll be second down and 12. Johnson is going to be split out wide to the left all by himself. Trip receivers to the right. Pelfrey has Blankenship in the backfield with him. Keep an eye out where number 20 is.
Yep, he's out there on an island by himself with Lee Felix covering him.
Let's see if the Jumpers decide to roll a safety over. I'm not sure what we're waiting on now. You have any idea?
I do not.
Guess there was a discussion over here on this near sideline. Officials with the coaching staff for Somerset. I think we got it all squared away and we're good to go. So Jumpers, they are going to roll some coverage over there and give Felix a little bit of help with Johnson. That's a good plan there. Pelfrey takes the snap, looks over here to his right, has a man caught at the 26-yard line and going to be tackled right there. They're going to give him all the way out to the 28, so it'll be third down and 3.
Looks like Hayden Dick reached out there for the stop.
It was Hank Pelfrey on the catch.
Got turned over. I mean, he literally flipped over.
And thank you to the Hazard radio crew for letting us know. We documented earlier Landon Smith went out with an injury. He will not return to the game. So best wishes for that young man. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can get back on the field as maybe even this next week. We'll see. 3 Bulldogs to the left, 1 to the right, 1 man in the backfield. Pelfrey takes the snap, hands it off. That's Blankenship, hit, and he's going to have enough for the first down. He got hit right at the 30-yard line by Preston Reed and was able to spin out of the tackle, and that spin was enough to give him the first down. You know, and they always say the clock stops to move the chains. Don't you believe it? The clock stops, and as soon as the umpire set the ball down, he wound the clock. The chains were nowhere to be found. They're still getting set. Even the down marker was still sitting back inside the 30-yard line. So I get it. Keep the game moving. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, and Jumpers are offsides.
That'll give them a free 5 yards. Henderson Chiropractic, committing relieving your pain using the true principles of chiropractic care. The caring, helpful team strives for excellence through extraordinary service and patient education. Dr. Henderson provides chiropractic care for injuries that occur during sports, auto accidents, work-related activities, or everyday wear and tear. The experience you need and results you want. That's Henderson Chiropractic.
Pelfrey makes his way back in from the sideline. Now 1st and 5. Different play selection for the Bulldogs. Johnson He's lined up at the numbers way up top. One man down here near us. They hand it off to Blankenship, who's got a lot of room off to the right side. 10 yards, first down, and add another 6 to it.
Wow.
Gets up and signals first down. Pretty explosive little run there by Memphis Blankenship, sophomore running back. He just had 3 carries for 13 yards coming into today. He's an outstanding defensive player.
Yes, he is.
So first down, just a couple yards shy of midfield. Same formation for the Dogs. Now may have been a little early start in the backfield, nothing called, and on the inside or the outside slant, coming in and picking that one up, and another first down, Johnson.
Yeah. Again, they're using him just to pick on the Somerset defense all night. That young man is a special talent.
2 receivers inside of Johnson just run off the defense, and Johnson on a nice slant makes his way from the numbers inside the hash and makes that catch for another Bulldog first down, and they're putting a drive together with 9:20 to go. And the way things have been here, Somerset has got to hold.
Yes, they do.
Hazard from getting into the end zone. A little discombobulation on both sides of the ball. Somerset defense wasn't quite set, but it didn't matter because Bulldogs were a little bit disorganized as well. I don't know if Pelfrey really wanted to go that direction, but he did.
I think might have been a little confusion on the handoff. Preston Reed stayed in his lane, just climbed his back, got him down to the ground. Short gain brings up second down.
See Blankenship check out, so if there's a running back in the backfield, it's going to be Max Johnson.
Hazard's content to let this clock
Absolutely.
run. I mean, it's 8 minutes
They're
and 30 seconds left to go.
They're thinking a long drive and a score to kind of seal it up. 2 receivers right. They give it to Johnson, who bursts through the line of scrimmage. He's in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Untouched Johnson from 35 yards out. Second touchdown of the game for the Bulldogs.
That's where they missed Rylan Carter on that play. That's the right down the middle, running right off the edge of the offensive tackle all the way into the end zone.
If there's a bright spot, we were just talking about the clock, and the Bulldogs would be content to use up a lot of that clock, but they didn't use much of it, so Somerset will get the ball back with plenty of time, but down a couple of scores. Extra point attempt is up. It is good.
The try point is good.
Since 1979, Modern Systems has been protecting communities all across Kentucky, and they are proud to be part of the communities they serve, committing time and sponsorships to numerous charities like Project 5810, Relay for Life, March of Dimes, Heart Walk, local school programs, and many more. Modern Systems, your neighbors and your friends, and they work 24/7 to protect the things that matter most to you. From homes to businesses to schools and churches, let Modern Systems be your trusted name in security. With 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in regulation, Hazard now leads 17-6.
Score from North Laurel High School, Southwestern on top of the Jaguars, 14-7. Last I got from PC South Laurel was 49-19. Maroons on top, so that's a running clock situation there. And South Laurel, or I'm sure Johnny Hines able to play some of his younger guys, and I want to thank Mr. David Bullock, my former pastor, who just sent me the definition of facetiously.
Oh.
I'll get to it here after this kickoff. Short kick, going to bounce at the 30 and fielded at the 25 by Somerset, and that's where we're going to go down. Great coverage on that play for Hazard, and there's a late flag.
And I'm not sure what that one's going to be.
I don't know. Felix was the man on the return for the Jumpers, and he's getting up a little gimpy.
I don't
know. Got a dead ball personal foul against Hazard, and that's going to move the ball out near the 40-yard line. So while they're doing that, facetiously, not meant to be taken seriously or literally, a facetious remark. Kind of what I thought it was. Amusing, humorous, lacking serious intent, concerned with something non-essential, amusing, or frivolous. pretty much my life in one definition right there. So not to be taken seriously. 8:13 to go. 17-6. Jumpers trail it on your Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Ball is going to be on the 40-yard line, far right hash as we look at it from high atop Clark Field. 2 men in the backfield. That is Keith. Bailey lined up behind him. They're going to flip it over on the right side. Little pitch and catch, 4-yard gain on the reception from Hughes out to Caden Samala.
Caden Samala.
Not a bad game by Caden Samala so far.
Gain of 4 yards in the play. Second down.
Delicious food with Southern Flair, made fresh. Local favorites. We love all catering. Big crowds, small crowds, wedding receptions, business events, picnics. Let us make your event one that will be remembered for years to come. That's Sassy Spoon Catering.
Again, 2 backs in the backfield. Hughes looked like he may have bobbled that snap a little bit. It was a little slow getting the handoff to Guy Bailey.
Now, Guy Bailey took a strange turn, and I thought he might have got his face mask grabbed.
Johnson and Thomas in on the
But
stop.
maybe he just got him right around the jersey and spun him.
Not that we want the boy to get hurt, but
Heck
that's
no.
kind of wishful thinking. We'll take first downs any way you can get them here. 3rd and 6, 7-12, clock running, 4th quarter, 17-6.
Sustain the drive, fellas. You got to get 5 yards.
Samala split out here on this near side. Hughes sprinting to his right, looking, being chased, wanting to throw back, and he's going to air it downfield, just throws it out of bounds. Palmer was in the area, or in the area code anyway.
We want to remind everybody to stay tuned to the end of tonight's coverage for the Alton Blakely post-game show. We will be awarding the Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, the United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game, and the Sassy Spoon Lineman of the Game.
Got a couple of thoughts on some of those.
Good.
We'll have our Alton Blakely post-game wrap-up show from up here. Bailey to punt, snaps high, goes up and gets it, and he sends another rocket down the field, bounces at the 15, inside the 10, continues to roll.
All the way
and
down to
how about that, ladies and
line.
gentlemen?
Wow.
Inside the 1-yard line.
Well,
Guy Bailey.
You couldn't have done that any better if you tried. A big thank you to Don Franklin, Somerset Family Dealerships, Kentucky, for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. Be sure to take advantage of the end of summer savings at any other Somerset locations or on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships, where they treat you like family. It's a long way. Don't ask me to do the math.
55-yard punt, no return.
How about a safety right here?
And, that would be nice. Hazard Bulldogs have taken a timeout, and I'll let Robert do just a little bit of business. 6:42 to go, 17-6. Jumpers trailing. Got the Bulldogs backed up towards their own end zone.
Henderson Chiropractic, committing to relieving your pain using the true principles of chiropractic care. Their caring, helpful team strives for excellence through extraordinary service and patient education. Dr. Henderson provides chiropractic care for injuries that occur during sports, auto accidents, work-related activities, or just everyday wear and tear. The experience you need for the results you want, that's Henderson Chiropractic. Again, we want to say thank you tonight for our title sponsor, Toyota Somerset, and our presenting sponsor, the Ford Brothers Auctioneers, and our official photography sponsor, Don Franklin, Somerset Family Dealerships.
Want to once again say congratulations to Samantha Ledford, daughter of Dave Ledford and Stacy Fry. Samantha serves as president of the National Honor Society, Y Club president, Beta vice president, and DECA vice president of social media. She's also representative on student council. She is your 2022 Somerset High School Homecoming Queen. Big night for that young lady, and I know her family and friends are proud of her. So, jumpers.
Quarterback sneak right here.
I would think.
You just got to be bigger and stronger.
It looks as though Pelfrey may line up under center. He's got a fullback. That's Blankenship, the tailback, Johnson. He's got power I formation, actually. They're going to give it to Johnson off the left side, and he gets all the way out across the 5 to the 8-yard line. That's a big run right there, just a little old-fashioned football there.
Yeah, big run. I was kind of shocked. I figured they would go straight under center and try to push the ball forward to get it out of the half-yard line. But
why would you when you got a young man like Johnson in there?
young man's just made plays all night long.
By the way, beautiful quarter moon across the way. Just an absolutely gorgeous evening here at Somerset High School's Clark Field. Power I formation again. They're going to give it to the last man through. That's Johnson. Same play, left side. He's going to have the first down and then some. Out across the 15. 5:52 to go. Clock stops with the pickup of the first down.
Just exploiting that side of the defense. They've just found something that they like, mismatch-wise or whatever. They're just play after play. It's 2 in a row.
Yeah. Umpire not doing the jumpers any favors with the clock, starting it as soon as he sets the ball. Has absolutely nothing to do with the chains or the down marker being set. I don't know. Maybe that rule's changed. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yep. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so I don't know all that much.
I stayed at home, but I don't remember much.
Wide receivers, 2 of them to the right. Snap, and that one is given off to the right side. Johnson again.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
And I've said Johnson so many times, I believe we could do a remake of the movie Blazing Saddles. The only problem is it's only been one Johnson all night long. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard carry by Johnson.
Young man's going to be a hard load to carry for the rest of the season. I'm telling you, that
he
young
is
man
tough,
is
isn't
nice.
he?
Yes, he is.
Really like his the way he plays this game. He's in the backfield with Pelfrey. Pelfrey gets the snap. They give it to him right up the middle and a quick hitter, and he's could be gone. It's a foot race, and
Nobody's
Pelfrey,
gonna catch him.
2010 touchdown, and that may be the one that seals the deal. And now, that's ridiculous. Hazard just got a 15-yard celebration penalty because an offensive tackle did a little bitty dance out there 70 yards behind the play. That is absolutely ridiculous.
It is. It's just a.
I know you're not allowed to do stuff, but come on.
Yeah, let them be kids. Let them celebrate. That was a big play. You know, that kind of play right there just seals the fate of the football game, and the young man's allowed to celebrate, so let him.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't showing off. He just doing it was.
And I would say that on either side of the football. Yeah. You know, I'm not trying to.
I would just say that was a
pick on
little
anybody.
happy dance. So, an extra point try to come. Rouse. I had the wrong name all night there as well, so been a rough night for Rouse. Not for him, for me. Johnson the holder. Kick is up. Kick is go. It did. Squeak through that left side.
Just by a little bit. But adds the extra point. Hazard now leads on the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard 24-6 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the ball game.
That run was for how many yards?
A million.
That was a ball on the 17, 83 yards. Wow.
Yeah. Just those big plays over and over. Big play, big play, big play.
I don't officially have the stats in front of me, but I'm going to say he's over 100 yards.
Oh,
I'd
say that one probably put him closer to 300 for the night. The young man has just played well. Somerset has no answer for it. And I just, I'm trying to figure out what the defensive adjustment should have been.
All right. So I'm making some scratches and some notes on my score sheet here.
It's a defensive game until the last 2 scores.
Yeah, 4:20 to go. Bulldogs are going to have to kick off from their own 25-yard line after the 15-yard excessive celebration penalty. I never have liked that from the very beginning.
Looks like he's lining up to onside kick it, though.
Well, they've not kicked it deep yet. They've kicked it to the second level, and this time just to beyond, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
It'll go out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. They'll take it right there.
Well, They're going to put it to 49, give it 5. I almost say no, back it up 5 and kick again. You're not going to lose any time on the clock, and you run the, you got good field position, but I think you can get better.
I think so too, but they're just content to take it.
But that's me. That's pretty much standard operating procedure anymore, is to take the penalty either where the ball goes out of bounds or 30 yards from the kickoff point.
I'm with you. I think I probably would have took that penalty. And it would have had him kicking from what, the 20 or the 15?
Yep. 20.
So take that little short pooch punt, see if it puts you on the other side of the field. But content to take it, looks like.
So Jumpers have the ball, 1st and 10. They trail 24-6, 4:20 to go. They need to score. They need to score a bunch, and they need to do it quickly.
Yes, they do.
2 receivers to the left. Palmer inside of McChrystal. Hughes looking across the middle for Palmer, and a pass interference penalty, and that's going to be a 15-yarder. 1st down, and only 5 seconds go off the clock. So Palmer's become a big target, and I really like the fact that they're using him tonight, but even more impressively has been the way he's gone after the football a couple of times.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. That's just effort. That might have been one of those, what?
So they'll mark that one off 15. Yeah, it looked like, we had a flag in the backfield as well, but the referee threw a flag in the backfield.
I have no idea.
So were both of them against the Bulldogs?
I must have been. They must have just picked the one penalty they wanted the most. I have no idea.
2 backs with Hughes. Low snap. He does gather it. Looks downfield. Now has to get it out here to his relief valve. That's Felix trying to make a man miss. Spins and gets down to the 35. So give him 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 3. 4 minutes all that remain in regulation. Jumpers have got to hurry. It's not an impossible task, but improbable would be a good way to put it. 2 backs in the backfield. Palmer going to line up in the slot after getting the play from his quarterback, Hughes. They're going to give it. Nope, fake handoff. Hughes rolling to his right, rolling. Now Palmer asked for it and then gave up on it as Hughes went to fire it to him and
looked like that might have
thrown
been
behind him. That was Bailey. You're right.
But that ball was thrown with some velocity too. Thrown behind him, thrown hard. This would have been a pretty impressive catch. That's the one thing that Chris has. He's had his safety valve out there a few times, but there's just good defense being played downfield. There's just nobody
And as
open.
this young man matures, continues to work his way through the ranks, he's going to learn that guy's going to be there. Trip receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hughes looks to the left, leads his man too far. Tried to get it to Felix in a little quick screen.
Yeah, rushed that pass just a little bit too quick.
So now it's 4th down and 3.
So you had 3 plays to get 3 yards.
3 yards.
And you chose to pass twice.
Well, I'm not a big problem with that because clock is a big issue.
It is.
You're right. Hazard knows you're more than likely going to throw the football. Now do you throw it here? Of course, if you don't pick up the 1st down,
it pretty
clock
much
stops on change of possession anyway.
That's right.
Bailey in the slot to the right. We got a procedure in that.
That
Did
give
they
him
throw the
5
flag?
They called
that
it
right
Somerset.
there's the. They did? No.
No?
That right there may be the offensive play of the game from the center, Zachary Cantrell. He was our lineman, the Sassy Spoons carrying lineman of the game. But he just walked up, picked up, handed the ball to the official, said, mark them off.
Jumpers.
So 1st down, Jumpers. Their ball inside the 30. That is another Remax Lake Time Realty 1st down. Two to the right, 1 to the left. Play fake, looking down in the corner, and that time McChrystal came in on the skinny post, and Hughes was throwing for the corner.
Yeah. Kind of had him in single coverage until he got towards the end zone. Then he had two people collapse on him.
Well, that's what I think. Hughes may have been reading the safety and thinking, okay, he's, if he comes inside, he's going to have double coverage or at least some help. I believe that, maybe why he threw it to the outside, but just a miscommunication there. 3:18 to go in the fourth. It's 2nd down and 10. Hughes, quick pass and just out in front of the intended receiver, Guy Bailey. Again, tried to throw that little quick screen. You got a couple of receivers out there to set up a play, but not able to connect on the pass.
Yeah, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I'd like to ask questions on that play call, but I don't get that luxury.
Well, as announcers, we can sit up here. It's easy for us to call
an armchair
those plays.
quarterback, right?
Yep. Empty backfield. Hughes looks to his right, has time. He's throwing down the seam, intercepted. And the Bulldogs returning it from the 5-yard line. That's Johnson, and he's only got one man to beat. That has a blocker out front, continues to run. 20-10, returned for a touchdown. Bulldogs.
Did they push him out at the 1-yard line? I mean, really?
They did. Never mind.
That was that's a tough one.
That is. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 1 for the Bulldogs. They lead it 24-6, 2:54 to go, and that one may be the one that pulls all the wind out of the sails of the Jumpers.
Well, Somerset could have scored there. It made the game 13-24. Only option he would have had was to try to get an onside kick. Instead, no score, and you're going to give Hazard more points.
Yeah, and in today's world of RPI ratings, Hazard wants to make this win look as good as it does. That's one of the things I don't like about the RPI.
Timeout, Hazard.
They are the #1 Class A team in RPI right now and could make some noise. So we've got a timeout. Bulldogs.
It's kind of three-way interesting race going into playoffs for 1A. This Hazard team is really nice football team. Looking at the scores that I've seen Pikeville post on people, I mean, they just look super impressive. They beat the brakes off of Lexington Christian like last week. And went to Corbin, almost beat Corbin, had them beat at the last second. I can't remember the other team off the top of my head. I was wanting to say like a Covington Catholic or somebody that they played that probably they should have beat. And Pikeville had a couple of losses early, but just turned the season around and has made it look pretty nice playing Madison Central tonight.
And the way RPI works, or, with that system, those two may not meet till they get, down to the semifinals, or even, I'm not sure if they can meet in the finals, but at least at the semifinal level. Power eye backfield, they're going to give it to the third man through. They're going to say did not make it into the end zone. So clock will continue to run. 2:44 to go. 2nd down and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
I think he tried to leap a little bit too soon on that one.
Yep, that was Blankenship. And that ball just about straddling that 1 yard, hash mark there at the 1 yard line. Again, power eye backfield, fullback. That's Blankenship. This time they're going to give it to the tailback. And
what a defensive play.
Indeed.
Kylon Williams. That was nice.
Ryan Dean wearing number 54, so reported as an eligible player, and he's going to lose a couple.
Loss of 2 yards on the play.
It looked like he lost more than 2, but okay.
3rd down and goal.
Maybe a goal line stance is exactly what this team needs, just to give them a little bit of, I don't know, positive momentum going into next week.
Yeah, because it's a big game.
Yeah, they play Danville at Danville next week. If you recall last year, if you were in the stands, Danville at Danville during the playoffs, it was a penalty fest, y'all. I bet there were probably 200 yards of penalties in the first half.
Now we get a timeout hazard as they let the clock wind all the way down. Minute 24 to go. So really the only thing to be determined now is the final score.
Yeah.
Bulldogs pretty much have this one in hand. Of course, be sure and stay tuned. We'll have the Alton Blakely post-game wrap-up show. We'll name our offensive and defensive players of the game as well as our linemen of the game. And give you a quick recap of the scoring. We'll have a few stats for you and get you set up. Our next video game of the week will be Pulaski County playing host to the North Laurel Jaguars. I was going to see if we had a score on that one to update the folks on.
See if I can try to get a score here. I haven't seen any updates in a hot minute.
I haven't either. They've given up on us. Our partners down the road.
Well, I'd say the Pulaski game is all but done.
3rd down and goal.
So this time Johnson's going to line up in the backfield as part of that power I. There's Blankenship. Pelfrey under center. Rolls out to his right looking, and that one was too easy.
Yep.
Just reversed out and had a wide open receiver in the end zone.
Nobody went with him.
No. Touchdown catch by Logan Thomas.
Everybody expected run. So 1 minute, 21 seconds till this game goes final. Hazard getting ready to take a possible 31-6 lead, pending this extra point.
It was a lot closer than that, and I know the score is what the score is.
Yeah, there's going to be 14 extra points here that came on late. It was a 17-6 ball game in the fourth quarter, and
snap was a little low. Extra point is blocked.
Lee Trafford play is blocked.
All right, well, defensive play will take it. When nothing else goes right, block a kick.
So Somerset now will get the ball with 1 minute and 21 to go.
Once again, we appreciate
Take a look here.
Southwestern, with the win tonight, beats North Laurel 27-13. So that's a pretty nice win for Southwestern.
That's a very good win. We're at 30-6 here, and the last we heard that Pulaski County having no issues whatsoever with South Laurel.
In the press box tonight, we appreciate Downtown Deli.
I want to be sure and say thank you to the administration here at Somerset High School. Of course, Athletic Director Kevin Burkett, Jason Rubel. He's kind of the press box director up here. He makes sure we're well taken care of. Appreciate the support from all of the jumper folks. They bring us dinner.
Yeah, brought chicken strips tonight, coleslaw, nice.
Good stuff, and desserts.
Oh, yeah.
Kickoff, that might be the deepest one of the night, and fielded off the bounce at the 21-yard line, taking off up the middle with a pretty nice return, dragging a couple.
Wow.
No, getting away. Is that
step.
Bailey?
That's
and Bailey making some moves, and he is going to return it for a touchdown. I thought he was down a couple of times, but he broke a tackle at the 30-yard line, and Guy Bailey has decided to run one in. 79 yards on the kickoff return.
With a 79-yard touchdown.
Well, can they recover an onside kick? Put another score in there.
Why not?
Yeah. Stranger things have happened, right?
We still got 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go. Anderson Rubel set the attempt the extra try. Not sure what the holdup is here now. Referee held the ball so that Hazard could make a substitution or get somebody off the field. Rubel set to put this one through. It's up. It looks good. It is good. And it's 32-13 with 1:05 to go.
1:05 to go. Got to have a onside kick to make it interesting. I know that Hazard's going to be expecting such a thing. I don't know the timeout situation. Any chance you do?
No.
Me neither. Somebody that can keep good stats would probably do that. I didn't. I failed.
I get it. You know, them guys that do this for a living, you know, on them, you know, alphabet channels and stuff, they have people to do that for them.
Oh, man, wouldn't that be nice?
It would be.
Yeah. I think we need to talk Pat into hanging it up out here doing this video crap and just make him start doing stats for us.
He says yes.
I want to give him an easier job.
He's still working with us. It's not going to be all that easy.
We'll still get to pick on him.
Yeah, that's
We'll
true.
give him a headset, though.
All right.
We got spot for
He's
one.
got a headset.
Ooh, he's got one. One of them nice
30
wireless
to 13.
fancy ones.
Oh, yeah. He's Mr. Fancy Pants.
Bougie.
Bougie. Did you say boozy or bougie?
Bougie.
Okay. Another word I don't know what the meaning is. Onside kick attempt, and Somerset. No, they had an opportunity.
Man.
I don't know, who was that, Bailey, that came in there flying?
I think so, but boy, I tell you what, it wasn't for a lack of effort.
Golly.
That young man has got a motor, does he not?
No fear. Only 2 seconds to tick off the clock, but now Hazard, all they got to do is kneel it a couple of times, and that'll be the ball game.
Yeah. Probably be the right thing to do, take their victory formation and get up out of here. We want to remind everybody to stay tuned to the end of tonight's coverage. We will be awarding the Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game, United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game, and Sassy Spoon Lineman of the Game.
So the Bulldogs will approach the line of scrimmage, victory formation. Pelfrey up under center, take a snap, take a knee, and with a minute to go, the officials will wait 20 seconds to set the ball. I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
Well, they could.
This game has been it was so close going into the fourth quarter. Somerset needed a stop and ended up giving up just a giant play. 87 yards. No, he's just out there being silly.
Yeah. Yeah. You saw Kylan jump across, but he's just making sure he goes down. And all Pelfrey was doing there was making sure that they got that thing under the play clock so that they could wind it on down. 15 seconds is what remains as it does. 30-13 is your final score. Hazard Bulldogs come away with a win. And what was a hard-fought football game.
Yeah, especially through 4 1/10 of a quarter. I mean, it was a 17-6 ball game, and Somerset just victim of those big plays. There was 2 of them. There was a giant return for a touchdown off an interception and a giant run. You know, there's just 14 extra points. You take those 14 points off the board, and it's a 16-13 or 17-13 ball game.
I'm not sure what return yardage looked like on that, you know, but when you add up total yards today for Max Johnson, he's got to have close to 300.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, all-purpose yardage in this ball game. But Somerset goes down at the hands of the Hazard Bulldogs. They got the thing started at the 6:08 mark. Bulldogs, a Landon Smith reception, 32 yards from Pelfrey, and the Russo kick was good, 7-0 in favor of Hazard. Somerset came back at the 1:59 mark of the second quarter, right what they thought would be the last score before the half, as Anderson Rubel put through a 25-yard field goal, make things 7-3. But as time expired, Hazard was able to get a 19-yard field goal from their place kicker Roos, and it was 10-3 going into the locker room. At the 6-minute and 50-second mark of the third quarter, Rubel, his second field goal of the night, at this time a 27-yarder, cut the lead 10-6, and that's the way it stayed till he got to the 4-minute and 20-second mark of the final period when Johnson broke loose on an 83-yard run. Roos's extra point was good, 23-6. And then Logan Thomas got the final score on a wide open pass reception, and it was 30-6 after the blocked PAT. Jumpers weren't going to go away quietly as Bailey picks up the ensuing kickoff at the 21 and returns it 79 yards for the touchdown. Rubel gets the extra point. Your final score, 30-13. Hazard wins it.
Tonight, some stats for you to end the session tonight. It'd be 15 total rushes for Guy Bailey for 42 yards. 2 carries tonight for 6 yards for Cam Hughes, who we didn't see in the second half, so hopefully that young man is okay. Number 21, Lee Felix, 2 carries for -4 yards. And 7 carries for Chris Hughes for 33 yards. 2 carries for Chase Keith for a total of 2 yards. Tonight, passing through the air, Chris Hughes with 8 completions on 16 tries for a total passing yardage of 77 yards. You got 1 catch by Lee Felix for 8 yards, 1 catch by Camden Hughes for -2 yards, 1 catch by number 84 tonight, Guy Bailey, for 2 yards. 2 catches tonight for Tony Palmer for 28 yards, 1 catch by number 6, Josh Gross, for 8 yards, 2 catches tonight for Caden Samala for a total of 33 yards. So, partner, we got some end-of-game stuff to give out. So let's start with the Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game.
Well, I think you got to give it to a guy who ended up a perfect 2 for 2 on the night, and then was perfect from on his lone extra point. He's had a pretty good year at Anderson Rubel, the field goal kicker. He's the one that kept it tight for Somerset in the going into the fourth quarter. I like Anderson Rubel for our Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game.
I agree. Somerset Community College Offensive Player of the Game goes to Anderson Rubel. So the United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game.
I wrote down mine. I don't know what you think, but I felt like that young man made a couple of big plays.
I think so. Since he's joined this football team, he's just been a major disruption on defense. You can see why the young man was as valuable as he was to his former team. So when he's come over here, he's made a big splash. Kylon Williams comes up tonight, United Cumberland Bank Defensive Player of the Game.
Sounds good to me. And now we've got our Sassy Spoons. Alignment of the game could be offense or defense.
Could be offense or defense. You've seen this young man on both sides of the ball tonight. Plays most of the snaps on the defensive side of the ball. You saw him line up as a fullback a couple of times. Even he had one wide-out attempt that fell a little bit short, but Chase Keith has played a phenomenal game tonight on both sides of the ball, but especially on the defensive line. So I think Chase Keith tonight for the lineman of the game.
Our Sassy Spoon Catering lineman of the game. We appreciate them coming on board. And, well, that's about going to do it for our Alton Blakely post-game wrap-up show. We appreciate all of our sponsors. We appreciate you, the listener. Kudos to our production crew tonight, Mr. Pat Harris pushing all of the buttons. On camera, Mr. Adam Bray. And we want to thank Kevin and Kelly Lloyd. They're the ones that signed the checks, and we appreciate them. Next week, we're going to Danville, Kentucky, where the Jumpers will take on the Admirals at Admiral Stadium. First district game of the season, and we'll be there to bring you all of the action right here on Lake Cumberland Sports.
Somerset finishes 4-3 in what they call the season before the actual district. You open the district play with Danville, at Danville, then you come back here and play Lexington Christian. here at home and then back on the road to finish out the season or the regular season at Washington County. So
hard to believe that we're only three games left in the regular season.
I know. Seems like it's hard to believe that we've already played 7 football games, right?
Indeed, but it's been a lot of fun, and we still got a lot of football left to play. He's Robert Reed. I'm Bob Boone. R2, B2, signing off once again from Clarkfield. Again, your final score, 30-13, Hazard over